that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place.
Now you're on your channel.
Friends and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt.
You can lower that boom and mic in front of you a little bit if you want.
Overcome everything that stands in your path.
Push the whole thing. There you go.
Then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey guys, I'm Chase Elliott, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back hanging out in studio today, Tan Talk Radio Network studio. We're live on my Facebook. We're live on the Tan Talk YouTube. We're live on our YouTube.
And Greg Hendrick is live from Las Vegas watching the side of your head, Randy.
Hey, what up, Greggy?
I wanted to know why he's watching the side of your head.
I'm going to see, well, I'll move it over, but God forbid you were not in the clip.
But everybody knows I'm here.
All right,
I don't
I'll
need
move
to
it.
see my face.
Okay, I'll move it. Talk among yourselves.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna move
talk
it.
to Greg. What's up, Greg? How you doing? How's Vegas? Is it nice out there? How's the weather? Are you done, Randy?
You're awful.
What are you talking about?
You are absolutely awful. So anyway, hour number 2, Max Griffin fights in Nashville.
Yes, he does.
Terrence McKinney fights this weekend. And I'm going to say to him, and I'm going to say it now because, you know, people come in, they tune out. This is why I tell all of you people, can I say that?
Yeah.
Is that politically okay?
Sure.
Are they going to burn our Knockout Radio banner? If I say,
I don't know, they're burning flags on CNN right now.
Yeah, we'll talk
Or
about
Fox
that later.
News.
So Terrence McKinney, how many times do you think Terrence McKinney has fought to a decision, win or lose?
Oh, I think he's always done the first round, isn't he?
Well,
Isn't he one of like explosive fighters?
So what is your answer? How many
I'm gonna say
decisions?
0.
Zero. How many times has it gone into, I think it's 15 fights, 13, 16, somewhere in their fights. How many into the third round?
0.
1.
Okay.
1.
Yeah, he finishes quick.
He's the third fight of the night this Saturday in Las Vegas, and knuckleheads are not going to be there to see it.
Crazy.
Because it's too early. This guy is exciting, win or lose.
Yeah, it's explosive, gets the job done. He's not there to like just drag it out. Some fighters want to like throw punishment and like drag it on. He goes in, handles business, and goes home.
Speaking of that, hour number 3 in studio, BKFC, can I say phenom?
Okay.
Rodney Hinton.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know anything about this dude?
Yeah, I was there for his fight.
I'm scared.
I was there when he fought.
I'm scared for you.
Why?
Well, I told him I don't really like you and I can't get rid of you. And he said, I'll come in the studio.
Yeah.
And I'll take care of business.
Okay. All right.
He did not say that.
I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to go polish up my knuckles.
Fight of the night, Saturday night.
Yeah.
And now also in the third hour, David Feldman.
Nice.
So they'll probably overlap so they can both show much love to each other. So I saw the video of your president of BKFC saying that as soon as the Hinton fight ended, fight of the night until the main event. And then he goes, no longer fight of the night.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to give 2 fights in the night. So they both got it.
And it was a big night. First time in Texas. Huge fight fan. Obviously, Texas, bare knuckle. It's a match made in heaven. And probably the biggest news to come out of Texas this week, except for the Liver King being arrested for terrorist threats against our boy, Joe Rogan. Did you see that?
I did not.
He went to Austin. He's challenging Joe Rogan to a fight. And I guess it crossed the line between trash talk and like threats. And apparently he was apprehended.
Good. Words have consequences.
Well, apparently Alex Jones broke that news. He kind of reminds me of your boy Bubba the Love Sponge.
Who's breaking other news?
Yeah, talking about Hogan, which is not true. Like I called Ron myself. I'm like, hey, just praying for Terry. Hope he pulls through.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he's like, he's fine. I just talked to him. Like, what? I was like, bad information. But how do people get away with starting rumors like that on social media?
I think if you just say it's a rumor, I think, and Ed can correct us, allegedly.
I don't know why that feed came across my book, but I saw that. I almost called you when I saw that. And then I thought, this chubby POS better not be lying.
Which one?
You know,
Randy?
I'm
Don't
I'm
talk to
talking
Randy
about
like
Bubba. He better not be lying about this. So
He has an inside source.
yeah, when anybody says an unnamed source, if they're not willing to come out and put their name behind it, it's trash. 99.9% of it is BS.
There you have it from
It's mouth.
the authority himself. But
Must be true.
But the only thing I do know is true. Hogan is opening a sports bar across from Madison Square Garden, like a massive.
He better do it quick if
sports
he's in.
bar. Well, he's in a ventilator,
right.
right? Yeah, maybe it's an oxygen bar. I don't know, but yeah. So he's opened up a new sports bar right across the street from his second home. He calls Madison Square his second.
Oh, when was the last time he performed there?
Oh, 1985.
Somebody,
No,
I
don't know.
A nurse at a particular hospital broke another one of my golden rules.
Okay.
That I've told you from day one, and you've only broken 100, 200 times. If you're going to do something unprofessional,
Yeah.
make sure it's worth, I've been unprofessional twice.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk about that again on Friday with Gene Silva,
Okay.
because I've requested him number one on the list of who's going to be at the Fan Expo. He's my number one request.
And why is that?
Well, that's the fighter who beat Bryce Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to thank him. And I'm like, you're the man. You're my new favorite fighter, blah, 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 blah. So that's the second time I was unprofessional, when I actually rooted against a fighter. The first time, and I've said it publicly, and like I tell you, and like I've told anybody that's ever been involved, if you're going to do something photo-wise, whatever, and not at the UFC parking lot, just photos that you're not supposed to
What
be
are you
taking.
talking about? What, Forrest Griffin?
Yeah.
The valet guy?
Yeah, the valet guy.
What's wrong with the valet
All of a
guy?
sudden, Matt's disappeared at the Apex in Las Vegas. He's helping Forrest park cars.
Yeah, I was like, you need help. It's hot. It's hot in
Oh
Vegas.
my God. Now, if you would have taken a picture of your Uber fare, that's different because you're working when you drove Henry Cejudo.
That's true. I was working. I did have a Jupiter bike in the backseat.
So I've always said, make sure. So a nurse at a hospital allegedly got fired for taking a picture of your boy, Terry,
Okay.
in the hospital.
Mm.
How about a golden rule? You don't take pictures of your patient
Yeah.
or a patient,
Right. I mean, it's a little,
right?
but when you're that big of a star, I mean, you really don't have any privacy anywhere. I mean, Eminem
Well, you
talks
should.
about how
You
he
should
goes
in
to
a hospital.
Well, he goes to the bathroom. People are in the stall next to him.
Sure.
So people take their shot and their opportunity whenever they can, because they may never get another shot at it.
I get it. And I understand if you're a fan, you're walking, in a public bathroom or you're in a public restaurant. If you're at work, now maybe I'm jaded, maybe we're both jaded, especially when it comes to Hulk Hogan. Am I going to lose my job? Am I going to lose my credibility over Hulk Hogan, who we know?
Well, and he's local,
So-
and he's available
You
every
see him all
Monday
the
night,
time.
right? Every karaoke night, he's at his own bar with his name on it. So it's not hard to find. Now, if it was somebody that's elusive, a Michael Jordan, I remember when Tiger Woods came to what was it, PGA? What was that golf place?
Yeah,
Inverness. Yeah, I mean that was different. When Tiger, I almost did something stupid when Tiger was there,
That's shocking.
but I was like, it's not worth it.
What would you have done stupid? Get a picture?
Tackled him.
You mean like what you've done at football games? Football practices?
What do you mean?
Hey, Baker.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to lose it over like Tiger. But I mean, I don't.
Well,
know
then who would you lose it over? If you're
like
not going to lose it,
the same guy you did, the same one that doesn't wait for Congress to take action, the same guy that uses B-2 bombers to blow up bunkers.
first of all, and I don't want to say that I like you. Okay. I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
But if I liked you at all, I would highly recommend not trying to get close to that guy to get a photo. Now,
Yeah, that guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did it. It was at an affliction. He was just, on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
You're not getting anywhere near him now.
I don't know. I mean, Bilal Muhammad jumped the cage and ran over to
Different.
gave him a hug.
It's still different.
Really?
It is different.
You don't think Secret Service freaked out when he
Yes.
climbed the cage
Yes.
and ran over to our president?
Yes.
I mean,
I thi-
absolutely.
I think they're all freaking out, but they're all prepared for it.
Okay.
It's at the UFC. It's happened so many times now. They're taking their shot, whether you like them or not. And I believe the same athletes would jump that to do it if it was Biden. Whether,
well, they'd have to go in the back and wake him up.
well, maybe they would startle him and he would wake up. I'm just saying the president's the president. It doesn't matter if you like him, dislike him. Having that photo with a president is
it's
worth it.
massive.
Yeah,
but I was just really surprised that the Secret Service allowed fighters to climb the cage.
What are they going to do? Shoot him? I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about the fighter.
Send hate mail too.
No, I'm saying.
No, but yeah, I mean, because it's unpredictable. You got the endorphins going. You've got a fighter just got out of a fist fight. You might not be thinking clearly.
You're right.
You don't really know. And if there's a hidden agenda, because the UFC is global, the background of Bilal Muhammad is what his religion beliefs are. What? Who really knows?
You are right. Habib just came out talking about Palestine, and now if a follower of a fighter that's saying things about Palestine and what just happened with Israel. And no, you're definitely 100% right. So maybe they'll stop it. I doubt it. I don't know if they could stop it.
You don't think?
They would literally have to jump up and stand and circle him after every fight.
I mean, I think a pistol stops a body.
They're not pulling a pistol. I don't even think the Secret Service would pull a weapon at a live event like that. Talk about global.
Yeah. All eyes on you.
And
I forget Tupac. It's all eyes on them.
God forbid you miss, or God forbid you pull a cane, or whatever. And now it gets out of hand, and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, but there are Iranian fighters.
No, that's
and Jewish fighters, and you've got major conflicts in the world now where these guys are coming together. Their camps are coming together. They're in the same fighter hotel. So is security going to be heightened at future events?
Well, I don't know if it can be more heightened than it already is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there. I've seen it. Now they made mistakes in Miami.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to throw Secret Service under the bus or the local police or whoever it was in Miami. Let's just say in New Jersey, they checked everything of the media. Now they're already checking everything, which I've always said they let the media, they half-ass it.
Yeah.
At the airport, I want everybody checked. Not just me, because I'm randomly searched every single time I fly. Every single time.
Are you on a list?
I've said, at least be honest. At least tell me I'm on a list.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I've got a little bit of a story, and I can make it quick. And this was...
Yeah, we got 2.5 hours.
Okay. This was 1990... What the hell is that?
It's Tommy Morrison.
Oh, okay.
This is his first day on radio. He's never done silence.
No,
before.
you can't silence it.
Okay. Anyway, so I think it was 1998 Bucks training camp, and back when it was still at the University of Tampa, Tony Dungy was coach, and anyway, so I was headed over there to get some audio, and I was a little running late because they had shut down the roads. And I'm running on. I had my black briefcase or leather case, whatever. So I ran to the entrance of the track, and President Clinton was already in the middle of the field, and the track went around. So I went up there and I just showed my credential, and got past whoever was there, walked all the way around. And I figured, well, there's the guy with the suitcase, the football. So I know Clinton's going to have to leave that way. So I ran to that spot, pulled my mic, reached down in my bag. Can't believe I did that 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
Without hearing a metallic click. But I did that 2 or 3 times, pulled it out, and interviewed him. I got some audio I still have today, and talked to him, asked a couple of questions, whatever. Came back around, and I didn't realize that they had a pool of reporters to go ahead and go in.
Right.
But the point is, I got through that whole thing with a black satchel and got through everything, went all the way around just because my credentials said, yeah, media, boom, go. Didn't get searched, anything. I was literally 5 feet from
crazy.
Clinton, 5 feet. And I'm reaching down to my bag. And the last time I went, oh, dear God, I am not doing this. Really? Thinking, oh, boy.
Well, if you would have worked at the McDonald's by the White House and the drive-thru, you would have got closer than 5 feet to Clinton because he was a big McDonald fan.
McDonald. Yeah.
But pizza gets you that kind of access.
I
you walk into an arena.
And I know that story. Sorry. Because when Bush came to $1 and all the media, all of us local media, Buccaneer media, we were not allowed near him. But the pool reporters all walked right up to him and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you're lucky to be here.
Yeah, and they were the pool reporters, the ones that didn't go, were very upset with me.
Sure.
They go, who do you think you are going on? I said, I didn't know what was going on. I was running late. I just wanted to get some audio. I didn't know. Nobody stopped me. I just flashed my thing that said, go ahead, you go.
If you trade in that black briefcase with 10 hot pizzas in your hand, they'll open the door for you and bring you on in. It's like pizza is a greater access than anything else.
Well, it was Clinton. I could have got more audio if I was wearing a blue dress.
Yeah.
All right, let's go hit a break. Coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Networks. This is Monica Show.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Hi, this is the Amazing Jonathan. You're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong. I'm very excited to announce that Knockout Radio finally has our very own Challenge Coin, thanks to Challenge Coin Country. Challenge Coin Country is a family-run business with over 17 years' experience making custom challenge coins, lapel pins, bottle openers, keychains, and many other custom products. They even produced 2 different variations for us, one for military recipients and a slightly different coin for civilians. I strongly suggest you check them out at challengecoincountry.com with free express shipping, and they proudly offer discounts for first responders and military as well. That's Challenge Coin Country at challengecoincountry.com.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Matt McClellan. And if you know me, I would care about this community greatly. And I have the devastation from Hurricane Helene realizes that people need me, whether it's accountability or friendship or a ride or a workout or just someone to help them with perspective. And I want you to know that for 15 years, I deliver pizza, but today I deliver hope. And if you need any of that, then please call me, 727-557-4421. A slice a day. Peace.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, this is Cal Ripken Jr., and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back hanging out in the Tan Talk Radio Network studios again, 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I like it out here.
It's a record.
It's nice. It's feels like a real studio.
Well, if we built the other one the way it was before, it felt like a real studio.
I don't know. I like the nostalgia of this one. There's a big satellite dish out there. It makes you feel like you're
that's just
into space.
That's just for looks.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah. No,
it's like the moon landing.
That was on the Mars.
No, that does work.
Oh, it does.
Oh, it does.
We get our news off of that.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
we can
nice.
fry an egg off that too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so
But
then,
that's when like the satellite trucks. I mean, it feels like antennas.
before I forget, dementia's awful. I purposely left my ringtone on
Okay.
because my ringtone, which is my favorite line from any movie, and I told Kenzie Morrison that last week,
You did?
it was to remind myself to talk about the future heavyweight boxer at BKFC because Kenzie looked pretty damn
Yeah, he
good.
looked sharp.
He did look good.
Yeah, I mean,
And haters are like, oh, he was awful. What? I mean, you know what he looked like? Let me think. A boxer.
yeah, that's what
Didn't
you do.
brawl, didn't do anything. And that'll be the difference from the animal that's coming in. And I'm going to let you challenge the animal.
Why?
Well, you've said that you only should be allowed one person with a nickname.
yeah.
So in your sick mind,
Okay.
Travis might have to fight Rodney for the name.
Oh, okay. That's a good fight. That's a good scrap. Like Travis with the experience, the veteran, Rodney with the youth and the explosiveness. And that's a great fight. What's the weight difference?
I don't know.
Huh.
Let's go old school. Weight difference don't matter.
Well, that's what Tapoya says. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't get to say in the street if somebody disrespects my wife, I don't say, hey, how much do you weigh?
Exactly.
Like, before I decide to defend her honor, I need to know your weight class.
I want to throw a big thank you out to VetTix,
Okay.
hooking me up in Las Vegas.
Okay.
They have so many things that's up there this week. I will be not only doing the 42 media events that are there, and then they added the BJJ, which I think is tonight,
Yeah.
which I didn't know.
Well, Zuckerberg just got invited by Dana to participate in the BJJ.
Should have been doing it from the Apex, but I wasn't sure about if construction was done or not. So it wasn't worth it to me to go out 2 days early, to do the show from, Greg's castle.
Yeah.
Or the hotel or whatever. So fly out tomorrow, but the Hall of Fame, the Canelo press conference, the real weigh-ins, the Fan Expo, UFC 317, and then thanks to VetTix, new kids on the block,
Oh, they're still around.
Tape Face.
Tape face.
You know who Tape Face is? He was on America's Got Talent.
I assume it was the duct tape guy.
Yeah.
The ventriloquist. So
I don't know what he is.
It sounds like a dummy, but he talks through the tape.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I saw him once, and all he did gimmicks with the tape, but I didn't see anything after that.
Okay.
So with the help of Jimmy Denning, I may even be meeting him
Okay.
on one of the days. And it works out well because a lot of the events are right next to each other. So like Fontainebleau is not far from the convention center. I can bounce back and forth. If Donnie, gives me the access, I'll be able to go backstage at, New Kids. I'll be able to keep popping back and forth, fights, weigh-ins, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a busy, busy time.
Do the new kids on the block have new songs, or they play just their classic that everyone knows?
I think they had something newish.
Okay.
We saw them a couple years ago. So it wasn't all right stuff.
Like a time warp,
Hey, it's still pretty good though. It
Yeah?
was still we enjoyed it.
How are they moving around on stage? Are they like ZZ Top? Are they still? Because
I didn't know ZZ Top moved.
Oh, they used to slant. Remember, like they used to do like that whole 45
Yeah,
degree.
but that's not moving.
Now they can barely tilt their head.
Well, now there's only two of them.
Yeah, they're not
The other one is slant.
They're slanted now.
We're all, you can't add more to the bad stuff that we've done and said. So,
But
Yeah.
but people really, people are not getting better with age. I don't see a lot of like improvement and mobility.
I don't know. I think I feel great.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
Because you're near me. You're like, because you're close to the sun. You know what I mean? Like you get burned when you're close to the sun.
Hold on. Is there an SUN or an SON in moron? M-O. I don't think I'm
Look, so Saturday night was Fight Combat in St. Pete at the Coliseum.
How many pictures did you take?
None. I was a Billy Key. I'm a professional, Randy. Like, how dare you question my integrity? Crazy. So I saw.
I'm not questioning your integrity. I'm questioning your professionalism.
I have both. I believe Nico Price walked past me. I didn't say, Nico. I didn't, I was doing my job. I was in Billy Q's corner with his fighters. I went from the most elite, dominant athletes, top athletes on the planet, to Disney's Blizzard Beach the next day. And I saw both worlds, like from extreme fit to not fit. And let me tell you, the world is in trouble, man. There are a lot of people that are metabolically damaged and in trouble.
I'm not arguing that. I was at Disney Monday.
It's
Tuesday.
It's wild.
Yesterday. I went yesterday.
And I don't know how people do the parks. I was wore out. The sun, it's the hottest place on earth. Happiest, but it's the hottest place
it's
on
hottest.
earth.
It's not always the happiest. Have you seen those prices?
Yeah,
It's not that.
It's crazy. So But I mean, just the endurance that it takes physically to go, the walking and the trams and waiting in line and standing on your feet.
Yep.
And then my wife did the double dip water park and she threw her back out. So she's not
On the first dip?
On maybe the second. I don't know.
Well,
But-
that's not as bad as doing it on the first dip,
Man.
because then
it-
you have to do the second dip.
It's wild. Like so
No, for
she's
sure.
all laid up. Her back is thrown, so it's but the food and the lifestyle and just it doesn't look like people are even trying anymore.
Well, I guess I understand, because I bought a bucket of popcorn, and then they gave me a dirty look when I came back, because you buy the bucket. I used to buy, the limited ones, and we would collect them and all that crap. But now it was just a regular, looks like a pail bucket,
Okay.
from the beach. So it's X amount of dollars, and then a refill's $2.25.
Okay.
So after we ate it the first time, I went back for a refill. I said, 2 refills, please. Okay, $5 and whatever. I handed him the bucket. He goes, where's the other bucket? I go, no, that bucket. He was confused. I said, no, I'm going to get 2. And then when he handed me back, I put it in a baggie and I got another refill.
Okay.
I have a long drive home. The popcorn's pretty good at Disney. It really is.
So
For $2, the popcorn's pretty good.
So they also have the chips in the cups. So like when you get like we went to Pop Century, stayed in the hotel,
Right.
did the experience. So they give you a cup from the cafeteria. When you put it on the sensor,
Right.
it tells you how many refills you have allotted. So it's man, that place is so futuristic.
No, for sure.
Even though it's all nostalgic. I mean,
No, wait a minute. You go to an all you can eat buffet. Do you bring a suitcase?
I mean, that's,
Well, hold on
No,
a
wait a
second.
minute.
Wait, first of all, they're 2 entirely different
yeah,
things.
he's paying for the refill. It's
I
not an
paid
all-you-can-eat.
for it. I'm not stealing.
No, I didn't. No, but I'm saying, I don't know.
No, come on. One's a buffet where you can't take food home.
Okay, well, why stop at just one?
Well,
Why for $2.50? Why didn't you just buy 10 of them and bring a Glad garbage bag
Well, I did
and
buy
fill it up and eat it for the next week and a half?
because it'll get stale after a week and a half. But we've got this down. We know time
Yeah,
schedules. So by the time I got from the back park, I don't know if you've been to Magic Kingdom, back where Dumbo's ride is stuff, where I bought the 2 refills. By the time I got to the front to leave, I bought another one, and then kept it in the bucket, and that way I snacked on it on the way home, and I'll eat it on the plane tomorrow. And God, what?
I know. I've thought you were talking about a movie theater at first.
No.
Disney can suck up the extra couple of buckets.
No,
Right,
but I
that's
didn't
what
do
it's-
anything. I paid for it.
I know that, but I don't know.
But we had a great time. I mean, we got
Back to you.
Yeah, no, but
Okay.
it was a great trip. It wasn't like the full Disney experience. It wasn't going like Hollywood Studios and doing all the. But it was.
It's a
just,
water park.
It was just enough. It was on the outskirts of Kissimmee. You weren't all the way in Orlando. It was easy to get
How
to.
many rides isn't the right thing, but how many
Adventure, water.
water things are there?
I mean, you have the tallest one, the summit. The plunge at the top.
Is that the one that the
most steep?
the bottom drops,
Yeah.
or is that at a different
Oh,
place?
I think that's a different place. But that's. But yeah, no, it was a great. I mean, it was
that would be a major hell no.
Like the bottom drops out.
Yeah,
They do those on the cruise ships.
yeah, I know, and it was a hell no then too.
What about Margarita of the Sea? They have a slide on there. Did you go on it?
No,
Come on.
I just didn't get to it. No,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a great time on it.
Yeah, I think this would be awesome.
It's now it's different than me getting extra popcorns to take home. You cannot take the burgers from something at 5, or I forget what the name of what was the song?
Cheeseburger at Paradise.
Yeah, Cheeseburger at Paradise. You can't take those home. You can take them back to your room.
Okay.
You can take them into the dining facility.
Okay.
But don't bring a Tupperware
You can't
and
it
take
off the
burgers
boat.
home. Right.
Yeah. Well, you cross an international border.
It depends on when it closes.
What do you mean?
Well, if you're back in international water, if you're back in our waters, not international water,
Oh, you get to take it off the boat?
maybe.
I don't think so.
Try.
I think they'll stop you. At
You know
that
what you'll find out is getting on and off the boat,
is easy.
lightning fast.
Is it?
Getting in and out, lightning fast.
Was that because of Tampa? Like it's
No, I just think they kind of have it down.
yeah.
Are you carrying luggage or are you checking luggage?
Probably carrying.
Yeah, I carried it.
We're only going to be there for 4 days, 5 days.
You only need a bathing suit and 2 pair of underwear.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't even need underwear.
It's so lax.
We
It's,
need underwear.
it's one of the things that you're going to have to let your wife and anybody who is going, you need to be prepared. No dress up nights.
Oh, that's even better.
We went to the steakhouse. This is the one that you pay for. It's above and beyond.
Yeah.
In shorts. I went in shorts and flip-flops.
Oh, that's perfect.
And they're expecting it.
What about no shoes? Because I don't even want to take shoes.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Why can't you take no
Not into the
shoes?
restaurant. Now you
Okay.
can go into probably the buffet,
All right.
because you're coming straight
Or the
from
pool
the
deck.
pool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're excited.
You're going to have a good time.
It'll be fun.
I don't know. Are we breaking or do we just come back from break? Are we breaking? Is this the quarter off? All right, let's hit this break. Hour number 2, full of interviews, more shenanigans on YouTube. If it interests you, jump to it. Knockout Radio on YouTube. This is Knockout Radio.
This is Michael Clayton from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Ferg and the whole gang at Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. Ferg Sports Bar and Grill.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Jim Palmer, and I'm talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we're back. KnockoutRadio.com. Joe Marquardt on the Facebook page brought up a disagreement. He's like you. He'll always disagree with me. He's
Love
like
that guy.
you and my son.
He's my favorite
Co-host.
Fan. A fan.
But no,
Is he
co-host.
co-host?
He's not a fan of yours.
What are you talking about?
No.
What do you mean? We went to your daughter's wedding together.
Yeah. I
We were
regret that.
We were like besties.
Yeah, I regret that.
We had like our lottery tickets. We used our Knockout Radio Challenge coin.
I can't believe that you finagled me into a coin.
We lost everything. I got nothing out of that.
All right, so Joe and I are disagreeing on a comment that was made, and I think it had something to do with John Jones. I could be wrong. I don't remember.
Okay.
But it had to do with UFC legend Mark Hunt.
Oh, yeah. Mark Hunt. That guy is a legend. What?
I'm going to punch you.
Mark Hunt is a legend.
He's a legend?
Oh, yeah, of course.
A UFC legend or an MMA legend?
Both.
Explain.
No, he's a big name. He was there.
A big name doesn't make you a legend.
When the UFC was on, and the fact that Joe Marquis says he's a legend, I absolutely side with Joe Marquis.
Of course you do. Now, the only problem is I'm the one that said he was a UFC legend, not Joe.
Okay. Well,
So you sure that he's a UFC legend?
Can I be honest? I don't know who Mark Hunt is. I mean, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah, you could.
I think he has blonde hair.
You could pick
Did he
him up.
used to dye his hair? Like,
I don't know.
uh,
I said he is not a
is he
UFC
from like
legend.
New Zealand?
Yeah, he's from New Zealand.
Okay, so I
He
know,
may be, and he probably is, an MMA legend. Now, Joe believes because the UFC bought Pride and bought everything else that now puts him under the UFC banner, which in a way it does, but he's not a UFC legend.
Yeah, that's
He's
like
an
Strike
MMA.
Force and like
Right.
all those smaller leagues
Right.
that were acquired. They weren't fighting the same level of talent.
If you're a WEC champion, you're maybe a WEC legend.
Yeah,
Just
like-
because they purchased it and then you didn't do much in the UFC. No, to me, you're not a UFC legend.
What about
Mark Hunt-
Anthony Pettis?
What about him?
Is he a UFC legend?
I don't know.
I mean, he's definitely a WEC legend.
Again, a lot has to do with
I
records.
mean, the kick off the fence. I mean, that was like
He
the
may
most
have
iconic.
Right. He may have a legendary, iconic kick.
But he was a champion.
No,
I mean,
but-
a long career.
I said this the other day, and of course, people hate to agree with me, so I get that. When I said Derek Lewis is not a legend, and somebody said he has the most knockouts in heavyweight history.
He does.
Okay. I said, does that make you a legend? Yes. Does being a two-time champion make you a legend? They said yes. So I said, so Tim Sylvia is a legend. They said no.
No.
They're saying Tim Sylvia is not a legend, even though they said, whoever they are, that a two-time champion is a legend. Well, Tim Sylvia won the belt twice, but they don't consider him a legend. So a lot goes into it more than whether you're
What's
a
the
title.
perception of what legend means to you? I mean, is it a household name that everyone knows? Like
Not to
Conor
me.
McGregor is a legend because everybody knows who Conor McGregor is, or is it because he was the first double champ, or because he was a champ? What's the criteria? Because it changed. If you're going on hardware, Tim Sylvia is a legend, two-time
champ.
heavyweight champion.
It doesn't
And the
matter if
heavyweight
there was.
division-
It doesn't matter if there was only one other fighter.
And unfortunately, because of Demetrius Johnson, the lighter weight classes don't get nearly the respect. So it's the heavyweight division or light heavy that really, cement that legacy. So if you're a two-time heavyweight UFC champion,
And don't forget, welterweights get a lot because GSP is considered either on Mount Rushmore or the
Matt
GOAT.
Hughes. I mean, some of those guys made, those classes popularized, but it's really the heavyweight that gets the most notoriety.
Kamaru Usman. People don't like to give that dude credit.
And it hurts them. You can see the after the fight, the emotion. Yeah.
I don't know if that. I mean, the emotion was because of it been a couple of years. I don't know if it's the
He said
respect.
it, the respect on my name. Like,
I think he wants respect
for
on
some
it.
people, it's more
No.
important than the hardware.
No, I get that. And the look I got when I hung out with, my Friday night group, when I said, I consider Usman the GOAT of welterweight over GSP. I truly do. I mean, Usman dominated. GSP didn't necessarily dominate. He won fights. He didn't win it in brutal style. He lost a fight that he won, or he won a fight that he lost, however you want to say it. I don't think GSP is the GOAT.
Is BJ Penn a legend?
Yeah,
he
probably.
Because he has the prodigy nickname.
Yeah, well,
right?
that don't mean anything.
What do you mean it doesn't
The
mean anything?
nickname don't mean anything.
Sure it does.
CM Punk goes by the greatest in the world. He's not the greatest wrestler in the world. He's definitely not the greatest UFC fighter.
Quit disrespecting the
Phil?
CM Punk.
Keep
Come
disrespecting
on.
Phil.
He wants the respect on his name.
Yeah.
When's he going to get it? Stepping in there against Mickey Gall.
No.
certified G.
That's respect. Again, I've never said that I disrespect him. I just don't think that he's a legend. He may be a performing legend, a WWE legend, a WWF legend. Hell, I never watched it. An AEW legend. I don't care. But come on. You trying to say that he's an MMA legend?
I don't know.
Massive kahunas.
More people probably know who CM Punk is than Mark Hunt.
Yeah, but CM Punk never fought in the UFC.
He did under his name, CM Punk. He didn't fight under Phil Brooks in the UFC.
See, I don't remember what he was.
He didn't fight under his legal given name.
Did he? All right.
But
Either way.
But speaking of wrestling, your boy Vince McMahon tried to acquire the BKFC to get back into promotion and script writing and narratives. And
Well, script writing really isn't in the BKFC.
are we sure? I mean, because Shaq's saying that the NBA is scripted. I mean, he's on a podcast talking about things that are not supposed to be scripted or
Crazy
not
things
scripted.
have happened in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, it truly has. When certain things happen like trades and then they get the number one pick.
like 10 years in a row.
It's
right? Isn't
it's
it like
crazy. Yeah.
The numbers are staggering.
It really is insane. New Orleans, what they got your boy. Yeah, it's
my boy in New Orleans.
The guy you ran into on the elevator and chased him down.
Oh, Zion Williamson?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
When they had the number 1 pick after Anthony Davis left. How does that happen? Dallas had, I think, like a ball and a half in the bin. And the half a ball is alleged is the one that rose to the top. Yeah, it's all, pretty much crazy. All right, 1 hour down. In hour number 2, Max Griffin will be on. Terrence McKinney will be on. Hour number 3, the Animal will be in studio. And then the president of BKFC said no to Vince.
Yeah.
David Feldman.
But before the only word more used than the word legend is coach. And I'll tell you a story about Mr. Beast when we come back.
All right, Coach. This is Knockout Radio. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Eric Moses with the Buffalo Bills, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone.
Somebody named Joe Markey on the phone?
Commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. 8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back.
He only had a few minutes.
Greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you. If you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump disputes an early U.S. intelligence finding on the effectiveness of U.S. military strikes in Iran.
The site is obliterated, and we think everything nuclear is down there. They didn't take it out.
The intel readout was that Iran's nuclear program had been set back by just several months.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. President Trump insists those U.S. airstrikes did devastate Iran's nuclear capability. And if you don't believe him, he suggests, ask the Iranians.
Just came that Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, this is Iran's foreign minister, says it's near its nuclear installations were very badly damaged by the American strikes.
Insisting to reporters gathered at the NATO summit in The Hague, the Iranians.
Do you see what Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said about what he said about the people that are challenging the fact that the Iranian sites were obliterated? He said, grab a shovel and go look for yourself.
In the next 10 years on a combination of troops and tanks and weaponry, but also the roads and bridges and seaports needed. The U.S. essentially meets that. Poland meets that. Very few others, including Spain, do. And so now they're going to start increasing that. So it's a big accomplishment for him.
Forecasters say the brutal early summer heat wave will break along the east after today. This man is in Charlotte, where it'll hit 97 today.
Just got to grin and bear it and deal with it and stay hydrated.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
He said he doesn't have time.
Mistakenly deported to
yeah. Hang on.
From custody in his criminal case today in Tennessee. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
Victory for Mr. Abrego Garcia is largely short-lived in the sense that he will likely be going directly from criminal custody.
Well, what you gave me doesn't make sense.
Detention.
New Jersey Democratic
You gave me 916, then 66.
Federal assault case stemming from an incident at a detention center.
MacIver's supporters cheered her on after her arraignment. Prosecutors say the Democrat elbowed officers as she tried to block them from arresting Newark's mayor during a clash outside the Delaney Hall Detention Center last month. MacIver had gone there to inspect the facility after complaints about the conditions inside. She addressed her supporters after her court appearance.
Thank you for standing with me, and let's continue to stand up.
MacIver says she will not back down as leaders across the country are targeted for speaking up. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Kroger says it plans to close around 60 grocery stores over the next 18 months around the country to improve efficiency. The Dow is down 150. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Why'd I go to the Tan Talk? Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
This is Lomas Brown, and you're talking sports with Randy, the Monster Jam Man.
And we're back. This is Knockout Radio coming to you live from the Tan Talk Studio Network, not the AC studio.
God, you're brutal.
How's the AC studio doing?
I don't know. I had to stop by there to get the banner.
They don't have AC yet?
No, air was working.
Okay. Shout out Cool Breeze. Shout out Mitch.
But I didn't find that out until yesterday, and we already had a guest coming in, and I didn't want to let the animal loose at Cool Breeze.
Oh yeah, that's not safe.
I wouldn't want to do that. So
Yeah.
I had to be,
No, but
Plus, you like it here.
I do like coming here. I do. I like Clearwater. I mean, somebody's got to take over when Hogan, hangs
All right.
it
So
up.
this is what, if you want to continue coming here, this is what you need to do. You need to go get a job.
Okay, I'm talking to Joe Marquis right now.
And
I wanna do an interview.
you need to reach out to somebody else.
Dang it.
And I have intel. And we need to build our own studio here.
Okay, let's build it.
You know how much money that would take?
Yeah, let's go talk to the Scientologists. They got money.
Let's do it.
Like we can.
Let's see.
They got the Geek Squad outfits. The uniform.
Let's see how good your sales could be.
Man, those guys are like robots.
Well, we could have our own studio in here. Lock
Well,
key.
let me tell you something though. No joke. Like I go everywhere barefoot. It's just part of my thing. I do it everywhere I go, any place I go. I try to not wear shoes. I'm not wearing shoes right now.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
So, but when I went to the Scientology, they had a sign like "Welcome" or "Everyone's welcome." I walked in barefoot, and they accepted me where other places wouldn't let me in. So
Yeah.
shout out to the Scientology.
Great. A bigger shout out's coming.
And there's the guy Travolta
All
right there on the wall.
Let's do a better shout out.
All right.
To our friend, more importantly, my friend, Max Ping. Max, what's up?
What's up? How you guys doing?
All right. How are you?
Awesome.
Yeah,
Very great.
I guess you have a fight coming up soon.
Yes, sir. 2 weeks, 3 days. But who's counting?
I was going to say, I was waiting for the hours, but who's counting? How has, let's get the business of that and, then, no, you know what? The heck with that. We'll get to that in a minute. How's the family? How's everything going out west?
Family's good. Family's good. Life's good. My wife's birthday is Monday.
Oh.
It's always from near fight time, but she understands,
How has family life changed, if at all, as you're going through the fight game?
They've luckily been around it the whole time. That's all they know. But I mean, they're used to it. They know it's part of what Dad has to do, and it allows the opportunities that we have. So they're supportive, fully supportive.
How does family, handle the fight? Not even, fight week, all that stuff. I mean, nicks, bruises, blood here. How can they control their emotions?
I'm not sure if they do, but I think they just been around enough time that they have the experience from seeing something gnarly, but it's usually on the other end. It's usually a year I took off or something I did to someone else. It's better than me.
I have a friend of mine, or at least I think he's a friend, played in the NFL. He went to MMA. He fought in the UFC. And at one of the fights, his wife, who I've been very friendly with for 20, 30 years, she came up to me all emotional. She's like, they're booing my husband. I go, yeah, it's different. Even though you got booed in the NFL, how weird is that from the family standpoint? If those 3 people that have booed you in your career, if they happen to hear it.
You know, the booing stuff could either piss people off or, you know, I'm kind of used to that. So I remember going to Brazil or Mexico, you know, they want you to die. So I think it's good to get a motivation there.
Do you really think they want you to die, or they're just reciting that chant that says you're going to die?
I think they want you to die.
Really? Knowing you know, the way I do, I think that you're a type of person like me. I like being booed. It gets the adrenaline going even more, doesn't it?
For sure. Versus everyone loves you. Yeah. You know, it's different when it's like you have it kind of puts a big chip on your shoulder. You know, it gives you some more juice. Versus the guy who's just loved, right?
Right. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, you know, especially fans, it's going to be dump on fans for a couple of minutes. Fans love you until you lose, and then they hate you. If they already hate you, at least it stays consistent, and they're going to boo you the whole time.
For sure. A lot of them are fair weather, but, you know, we have some truths that rock with us.
No,
I mean, a lot of them rock with us. But they forget quick, too, you know.
So, Max, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much force did you put behind that leg kick when you kicked the trash company Strong Sons driver?
Strong Sons. I would say about a 3.
Yeah, it looked like you really held back. Like, you know, I really wanted to see you like whip that thing over, turn the hip over, and you know, snap a femur or two.
If you turn that up, it's loud. That shin hits, and he sent me some pictures. He was laid up that whole night. He was laid up on the couch and out of commission.
What's the craziest thing a fan or anybody's ever asked you to do other than, you know, obviously the leg kick?
These ladies in Jacksonville wanted me to go home with them.
Welcome to Florida.
There's like 4 older ladies. My wife was there too, you know, and you know,
people are crazy.
She took her like a champ, but they were ready.
That's insane, and I don't understand why fans do that. Hey, I want to take a punch. You know, they've taken the Chuck Liddell leg kick. You're like, I don't understand, and what that proves. Even if you don't die, so you took a leg kick from Max Payne.
It's something to say.
Yeah.
It's something that you can say. A story for your kids. A story for when, you know, I'm watching some guy on TV. That guy punched me, kicked my leg. It's something, you know, it's something.
So speaking of something to say, every time, I don't know what happened. I don't know how I followed you or how when you came to the restaurant and we did that cooking thing. I don't really know how, but every time you post something, I get a notification on Instagram. And I don't get that for any of my other followers but every time you do something, my alert goes off that says Max Payne did this. So I stay in touch. I follow up. I'm watching the biohacking and learning new tricks on how to recover. So what do you got for the fans? What's the newest thing in the biohacking world?
The newest thing in the biohacking world. I'm doing so much different stuff. But to be honest, now I'm getting more in the like astral projection, soul traveling shit is what I'm working on now, which is a whole nother level, man. Really, we're just consciousness in our bodies, our biological vehicles, you know, really, if you break it down energy-wise. So I'm working on intentionally exploring.
Yeah.
I just being conscious, you know, it's crazy. It sounds like some Fruit Loop stuff, but
they got him. He's like talking about consciousness. They abducted him. They're like, that's it.
but at least Max has finally agreed to what I've said about you, Fruit Loop.
Well, I'm conscious. I'm conscious and I'm aware and I'm on that same frequency, baby.
And speaking of Fruit Loop, before I forget, going back to you think it's a story, if some moron comes up to you and wants a leg kick, that's a story that they can tell their kids. If I was to tell my son or daughter or wife for that matter, that I have a story about when Max kicked me, they all 3 would call me a moron.
least they're calling you something.
Well, I guess. So what would you recommend fans to do other than something as ridiculous as a leg kick or getting choked unconscious or something like that?
I mean, take a picture. The face-offs are cool. Those are a story to tell. I love staring down these fans. A friend of mine feel the fire in there.
Yeah, a friend of mine would tell me, and I'm sure this has happened to you, that he would get letters all the time asking for money, asking for them to pay off their house, ridiculous stuff like that. Does that happen as well?
Yeah, and it's always someone you don't know. Someone has some balls to ask somebody they don't know. I could get it if it's someone you've interacted with, someone that is maybe possible, but you get these cold calls.
How about somebody that taught you how to make pizza, huh?
I'll take it. I love pizza, man. Every time I hear your voice, I think about us making pizza.
Yeah. He got lazy and got out of the pizza business. I've had 2 pizzas since he stopped.
I'm in the biohacking world now. That's what I do now.
Well,
really?
Yes, sir. I run a lab here in Tampa. I work for the queen of biohacking. We're using Tom Brady's brain tap technology, controlling alpha waves, gamma, delta, theta. We're doing the BioLink, BioScanner, recovery, red light, all that. We got all that in Tampa. So
beautiful.
you come through.
I just did some brain stuff, and it's called NeuroFit. It's out here. It's kind of my San Francisco, called Dyson. My brain was super powered down. I had a bunch of fight or flight on there, locked on, but I graduated the program, and I've been thinking hella clear, like not getting pissed off for that little shit anymore. And my road rage is gone. Like, the future is now, man. There's so much that's coming out, and we need to be optimized.
I know. I need to learn a little bit about that because I get pissed off at the stupidest things.
Yeah.
So Max, there's a company called Neumi, Neumi. It's glutathione. It's a mouthwash. You drink it, you swish it 30 seconds. You drink it, and it delivers glutathione intracellular for cognitive function, concussion protocol, and you can literally drink it after your fight in the back of the arena, go and start the recovery process cognitively immediately. So I'll reach out to Kevin, the owner, and see if I can get you some before your fight in Nashville.
Yeah, glutathione's awesome for detox and what you're saying, man.
All right, let's find out about another of your side things. We'll get back to the Fruit Loop stuff that you guys are talking about. The cards, when you're opening the boxes and stuff, what's the most valuable card that you've pulled so far?
That I've pulled in my hand? Man. I pulled some heaters. I pulled a Habib 101, a John Jones 101. Those are 2 that stand out.
How many boxes do you have to open? I've opened a few. I have a buddy that owns a card shop, and he always gives us cards, and we open it. I've never gotten anything. I did one pull with Paige Van Zandt, and we opened the box. She gets the card. I've never gotten a pack with anything. Am I just unlucky?
Your luck will turn around one of these days.
If I keep buying cards.
Yeah. It has to. Probability, it has to.
Yeah, you would think. You would think, but I haven't gotten, that lucky yet. So let's quickly talk about Nashville. A, have you been there before? And B, let's talk about the fight and your opponent.
I have not, man. I'm fighting Nashville. Pumped to get the fight. My wife came outside, and she was all excited about the fight when she got my phone first. And she showed me the name and the face, and I had my facial expression didn't change. She's like, I'm more excited than you. I'm like, no, you're not. I just don't like him. So, never liked Chris Curtis. He's number 13 middleweight coming down to welterweight. So it's like a top 15 fight, which I appreciate. And it's in Nashville. It's all strikers on the card. So it's going to be just bedlam.
Do you, depending on the city, will you stay longer? I mean, you can't do much before the fight. Will you stay a day or two after to enjoy Nashville?
It's possible. I usually do. I usually, like, if it's somewhere that's worth staying or somewhere that I wanted to go that I'd probably never go again, then I'd stay. It just depends. I'm open to staying. Nashville, I heard, is really cool. Got a lot of music, good culture, great fans. That Southern hospitality. I'm excited to go put on the show.
I will. I'll give you a call in the next couple of days and throw some ideas. And if you want to stay, obviously it's, I don't want to say mostly, a lot country music wise because it's Nashville, but there's a lot of cool stuff there. The Hall of Fame is there. The Grand Ole Opry is there. It's really a cool city to go check out. And they're on Broadway a lot to do right by the arena. So
I think it's great where the arena is. If you have I have an idea for Nashville hot chicken. The best Nashville hot chicken place, because I'm into Nashville hot chicken. So if that's where it's originated.
I don't know if it originated there, but I do have a place. It's like walking distance from the arena. I don't know where you guys are staying, but it's walking distance from the arena that is top notch.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know if the chicken originated in Nashville, but I do know the internet originated in Nashville, and Al Gore.
Is that where Gore was?
Yeah, Al Gore has a home in Nashville, which it's massive. There's two different sides of Nashville. You have estate homes that are generational wealth that you could never lose in a bad weekend in Vegas, and then you have like city where you can't stop at the stoplight without getting shot. So but it's the same neighborhood. It's literally across the street from each other. So have fun, be safe, but it's cool, man. When you go through some of those old historic parts, Brentwood, and it's amazing to see America at Southern Charm you're talking about.
Nice. No, I'm very excited. I love fighting in these arenas. I think yours was where we're supposed to be. So I'm very fortunate and thankful for this kind of fight in that, part of the nation.
Well, it'll be cool. It'll be great to have you back in action. As always, appreciate your time. I know if Ed didn't get it, I have your address, another 8-man strong package coming for you guys. And let's talk soon, and then we'll talk about Nashville. I may fly in the day of, or maybe even fly in the day after, and then we'll just go eat a lot of chicken.
Shit.
He said ship.
Yeah.
He said ship.
Yeah.
All
kinds of ships out there.
There you go. Max, I appreciate it. Say hi to the family for us.
Yeah, thank you both.
All right, take care. Max Griffin back in action. Octagon-wise in Nashville. It's coming up, I think, the 18th, 19th, something like that.
How come Max Griffin talks biohacking and he's cool, but I talk it and you think I'm a Fruit Loop?
Because I like Max. I'm not going to say I dislike you, but you're not on Max's level. You're really not. So I've told you before, if Randy Couture sends me that stupid thing you keep in your mouth, different one, a different one, but similar, I would attempt it. I would take a look at it.
One day you're going to wake up, Randy, and be like, man, all these years I was next to the G. Like, this guy was the GOAT at what he does.
My goal is to wake up every day.
The legend.
This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8-Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Vinny LeCavalier, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, it's Misha Tate here, former UFC world champion. I'm here with Randy, the OG of the UFC, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Network. Terrence McKinney will be on momentarily. Back real quick in case Joe Marquis is listening. Mark Hunt went 8-8 in the UFC.
Okay.
That's not legendary.
That's 50-50.
That's what it is. It's 500.
Yeah, 500%.
I mean, anybody that fights in the UFC is a good fighter. But when you're using the word legendary,
he's not a legend.
In the UFC.
Yeah. Now, in other organizations.
In
sure.
MMA, and we're not talking that. The thing said UFC legend, Mark Hunt. Now, do you take into account
just
who
like
he fought?
Brady is the greatest Buccaneer of all time? Yes. You take in the whole career as a collective.
Well, see, there would have been a better way for you to say it because he wasn't the best Buccaneer of all time.
Sure he was. Who
0
has more rings than Brady? What Buccaneer has more rings than Brady?
Shelton Quarles.
He has more rings than Brady.
Yes.
How many times have you been married? What are we talking about?
He has more rings in Tampa than Tom Brady.
No, but how many rings total?
Nobody has more rings.
Exactly. Belichick, maybe.
Yeah, maybe because he probably won one as a coach or something, But what he did in New England has nothing to do with what he did in Tampa. So he's not a Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend.
Work with you. It's your career.
No, he is an NFL legend. He is a New England Patriot legend. He's not a Tampa.
Just one promotion. It's the biggest. It's the most notable.
Right.
But it's just one promotion. And
any others that were notable, they bought.
Yeah. Well, but that's why Phil Davis is bringing a class action lawsuit against the UFC because he had to go to Bellator. He became the champion, beat Glover Teixeira handedly, but he never got a chance to do that in the UFC to become the UFC champion. So he's
Cry me a river.
Bringing a lawsuit.
How can you sue over that?
I'm just saying that you can sue for anything.
Well, I understand that. No,
anything.
That's true.
And if you watch Morgan & Morgan on your Facebook feed,
I don't.
If you're a delivery driver, you're owed compensation, wear and tear on your car, time tips, and doing tasks that weren't being paid at a fair hourly rate because you were washing dishes and not delivering, or you were a tipped driver.
How are you going to be able to pay those lawsuits?
What are you talking about? I have a lawsuit against myself.
Well, I'm saying all the people that worked for you.
Yeah, but I overpaid. I overpaid hourly. I gave them flat fee. So I never had to do the tip system because a lot of delivery businesses give people tipped hourly, like bartender wages, because they were making tips.
Right.
I paid them a flat hourly fee that was above minimum wage, and then the tips were extra. That's how I had retention. That's how I kept people for 10 years, 12 years. The only reason that they stayed was because I paid them well.
Not the stuff they took out the back door?
That I gave them extra gifts.
No, they
that
took.
I didn't know about.
Right.
I funded all that.
They claimed that you gave it to them.
Yeah, I don't really know how much.
I don't know how they got that refrigerator out the back door
It's
without
crazy.
you knowing.
Yeah, they're strong. Hey, but that's it was a different time, right? Different era. Now you can't even keep people, no matter what you pay them. The restaurants are struggling just to find personnel.
Not sports related, but life related. What used to be tips, as you just brought that up, at 15%, and great service is 18 or 20. Now, when you go to these places, it starts at 20.
Yeah, 18, 20, 22.
And 25.
Custom.
Right.
It's like custom.
And they do a charge if you use your credit card, a lot of places.
Yeah.
It's
automatic.
a charge. And I'm not saying I don't understand that. I mean, they're getting charged, but they don't tell you that.
Yeah.
And then they take automatic. There was a restaurant, I won't say it publicly, a place in Orlando that upcharged like 2 or 3 things. And they said, this is going to the server. And I even questioned, I said, well, isn't that what the tip's doing? Well, no, this is a bonus to your tip.
Right. Yeah, a lot of places are doing that.
But you're not giving it. You're having the customers tip and then pay the bonus $10, $12, $15.
So what do you do when you're picking up food? Like if you go into a place to pick up, do you tip because they made the food, but do you tip the gratuity? Because as soon as they turn that tablet around and put it in your face, it's awkward if you decline.
It's not awkward.
You cancel.
It's not awkward.
0.
It's not. I don't do 0.
Okay.
But I give a couple dollars.
You tip on
a couple bucks.
Okay.
Not much. I mean, my daughter used to work at a couple places and she did so I give a couple dollars, but they hand you the receipt and they want 20% on carrying it from the back to the front.
Right. What about the drive-thrus? Like if you go to like Cane's or like Chick-fil-A. Now, Chick-fil-A, I don't think accepts tips. I don't think.
Only on Sundays.
Yeah, on Sundays
they collect a lot of tips.
Only in the offering, right?
In the offering
they pass the bucket around.
Right.
But I think some of those places
and that's the thing that it's either all or none. So you pick and choose. So you don't when you go pick up the drive-through, Wendy's, Burger King, Popeyes, blah blah blah. But the exact same place, if you go inside, they got their hand out.
Yeah. But do you like to eat out anymore? I mean, eating out used to be an event. It used to be about ambiance. It used to be for entertainment and for joy.
Honestly,
when was the last time you went and ate out?
I hate eating. We're going out tonight. But I hate going out.
It's awful.
I don't mind going and picking it up, even though it's not as good. It's not as fresh. It's not as whatever. I want to stay in shorts. I don't want to get dressed up. I don't want to sit there for 2 hours. I don't want to hear just let me sit in the living room and watch Law and Order.
Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's distracted. There's nobody talking. When was the last time you went to a restaurant and met a new friend or a new acquaintance at the next table over?
Never.
That's what it used to be.
Never.
That's what it used to be.
I've never done. Well, I did it. No, I don't want to say never. That's what just happened at the steakhouse when I turned to the couple.
Yeah.
But no, I never. I'm not you. You do that stuff.
I talk to people.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a radio guy.
With or without clothes.
I'm supposed to talk.
With or without clothes. You turn and talk to people.
Like Max Griffin. Like people offer and I go. Jacksonville's a wild place.
I guess. Terrence McKinney coming up momentarily. Fights this weekend, early on the card, UFC 317.
How's Travis Hunter doing in Jacksonville? You've been keeping up on his scouting reports?
No, not at all.
His training camps?
Not at all.
He's the greatest football player in the state of Florida right now.
What are
you talking about? He's a Heisman Trophy winner.
What does that mean?
He's here. He's one of us. He's a Floridian.
Well, first of all, who says he's a Floridian?
And Jacksonville's going to dominate this year.
Where was he? Was he born in Florida? Does he call Florida home?
He lives here now. Yeah, he bought a house here. $3.3 million.
That's
beautiful.
That's lower compared to what he had in Denver.
Yeah, well, he was an NIL guy.
He was killing it. All right, let's jump onto this break. I know it's short, but we'll do that. And then we come back. We'll go out to Las Vegas. Terrence McKinney back in action. One of the most exciting fighters in UFC. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. This is Levante David, linebacker of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're listening to the Knockout Radio.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, If you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-man strong. I'm very excited to announce that Knockout Radio finally has our very own Challenge Coin, thanks to Challenge Coin Country. Challenge Coin Country is a family-run business with over 17 years experience making custom challenge coins, lapel pins, bottle openers, keychains, and many other custom products. They even produced 2 different variations for us, one for military recipients and a slightly different coin for civilians. I strongly suggest you check them out at challengecoincountry.com with free express shipping, and they proudly offer discounts for first responders and military as well. That's Challenge Coin Country at challengecoincountry.com.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Matt McClellan. And if you know me, I would care about this community greatly. And I have the devastation from Hurricane Helene, realizes that people need me, whether it's accountability or friendship or a ride or a workout or just someone to help them with perspective. And I want you to know that for 15 years, I deliver pizza, but today I deliver hope. And if you need any of that, then please call me, 727-557-4421. A slice a day. Peace.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Mike Allstott, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back hanging out in the Tan Talk Radio Networks today. Born the Big Bird. I'll be in Vegas tomorrow, UFC 317. And let's jump back to the phone lines and continue talking about this weekend's UFC. Terrence McKinney. Terrence, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's hot. It's a little cloudy, smoky out here, but gotta love the city of Vegas.
Absolutely. It's a work week, though. And I always ask the fighters when they're on, how much is it work related, and will you be able to get out? I know you've been in Vegas numerous times, but do you still get to go enjoy something fight week?
Yeah, once we make weight, we enjoy it. Also, we're going to Pop Stroke today, do a little mini golf.
Very cool. Are you a golfer?
We're going to find out. You know, I'm going to tap into my Tiger Woods.
There you go. So I have a lot of pet peeves. And one of my biggest pet peeve I've covered, this isn't the pet peeve, I've covered the UFC since day one, UFC 1, covered it longer than anybody in the world. And one of the things that bothers me is the late arrivals. You know, I want the place packed early. And for somebody that's fighting early on the card, who I believe you've gone to the third round one time. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
So for anybody that's going to be a late arrival on Saturday and miss one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC, does that bother you when there's empty seats? Because it does me.
Yeah, of course. But at the same time, it's a little less nerve-wracking. So it's like, you know, I got to take the positive from it as well.
That's an interesting way to look at it. Okay. Are you aware, you know, when you walk in, how focused are you that you can even be aware that who's there, a celebrity sitting there, or a seat is full or empty?
You can see it all, especially when walking out. Because like all the fans be on the rails and stuff. I'm pretty sure the rail broke down last time, so you'll know right away. You're like, oh, I got to get locked in. Tunnel vision. I try to lock them all off.
When something crazy like that happens, and you're locked in and you're getting ready, but you still hear it or see it, how quick is it to block it out? You've seen it, but now you got to get back. Because I would always ask fighters, what's the craziest, strangest thing? And when that started, a fighter told me that
they were fighting. Do you remember what the movie was?
Inglourious Basterds.
So they were fighting somebody from Germany, and they were
Dennis Seaver?
talking German. I think it was Dennis Seaver. And he said, for a minute, I'm watching in the back of my brain that movie, and I had to like bounce back in. I'm in the middle of a fist fight, and I'm watching a movie in the back of my brain. So how quickly can you bounce in and out and get back to what you need to be focused on?
Quickly, especially being ADHD, my attention gets redirected so quick. So I see the fans like, oh, this is cool. And then when you get to that cage, you're like, oh, shoot, man, I got to protect yourself at all times.
and I'm sure, if you get punched or something and you're thinking about something different, that certainly will help get you back focused again.
They straight up, man.
Well, Terrence, we all know that, sponsorships are a lifeline for any fight career. So, does the Focus blend from Via Hemp help stay focused during the fights? I mean, is that something that you take before, after, or just in general life?
Sometimes I would say I'm taking like the healthy mushrooms, like cordyceps and things like that, reishi, things like that.
How do you learn that stuff? Whether it's this and Max was just on talking about the biohacking stuff. How do you learn all of these things that Matt keeps telling me about, but I ignore because I don't believe or trust him? But I would believe or trust anything that you say. So,
just research and talking to other fighters. Also, ChatGPT always helps these days.
Yeah, so I was telling Max, I run a biohacking facility in Tampa, and there's a glutathione that delivers intracellular help for antioxidants that helps with cognitive function after concussion or traumatic brain injury that fighters can now take in the back as soon as you guys leave the octagon. So there's a lot of really exciting things coming out in neuroscience to help you guys so you can perform at the highest levels and for longevity to do this as long as you humanly can.
Exactly, and that's huge, protecting the brain. And shout out to Regenerate. They be having all kinds of stuff like that to help with the brain. So it's awesome.
As we continue talking to Terrence McKinney, let me say this again. Never gone to a decision and only gone to the third round one time. So either get your butt in the seat early in Vegas or get the TV on early because you don't want to miss that. Let's talk about your opponent. Thoughts? And I normally ask, does it even matter about your opponent? It matters more what you're going to do.
Just focus on myself, but also just knowing where he's good at and making sure I'm not falling into this game. He's real good in the pocket, and he got real nice body shots. I don't think he's like super athletic, but he has great technique and good distance control. So just making sure we're cutting angles and making sure we're keeping pressure on him so he can't get settled.
I learned this from Marcus Jones. He played in the NFL with the Buccaneers, and then he joined the UFC, was on the Ultimate Fighter at UFC 100. And he would always tell me that he didn't like football. He was just good at it. So I'd like to ask, the MMA fighters the same thing. I mean, do you like mixed martial arts? Do you enjoy fighting, or are you just good at it?
I'll say it's a little bit of both sometimes. I say mostly it's the weight cut that I don't like. If I could just fight someone my size, not fully yoked like Usman, and then I'll fight welterweight. But just the weight cut. But I love fighting. It's good to get the emotions out and hit someone as hard as you can sometimes.
And not get in trouble for it.
Yeah, exactly. And get a check with it.
Give me your thoughts, because I didn't even bring it up from last week. A fighter had 3 illegal shots thrown at him. Finally, points were taken, and I'm screaming the fight should have been stopped. Luckily, he went on to win that. Would you like to see penalties, given quicker? I still, I have 2 adult children. I still don't know what to tell them on the difference between a warning, a harsh warning, and a strict warning, and what that means.
I think they could definitely be stricter with the rule set. 2 times should automatically be a point, at least 1. And then if it's done more, like you said, 2 points, I think that was a great call, the last fight. And that dude's a savage for taking that knee and winning the whole fight. Because most people would not have seen you fight, so that dude's a beast.
And not necessarily to, rip fans, I'll do that. But, if it would have been a DQ, then they're going to rip this guy for taking the quote unquote, even though it was 2 serious eye pokes and then the low blow. And we don't do a lot of research here, but I would assume that any fighter that continues after those ends up losing because they can't see, they can't this, they can't that. So you are 100% right. That guy is a savage to not only continue, but to win that fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you collect anything? You know, I'm at all of these events. I see fans, you know, getting pictures, getting autographs, you know, buying the merch, buying, you know, fight used gear. Do you collect anything, whether it's MMA related or just in general?
Yeah, I got like this stick. I got a couple action figures. I got like this stick Back to the Future one. I got a couple Stinger for fighters, couple cards. I got Corey Sandhagen. I think he's super filthy. I got Andre Pedrowski. That's my boy as well. I got a couple, and then I got a big Vanderlei Holyfield poster that's signed by him.
Is there something that you'd like to acquire? Is there, if you could acquire one piece of anything, whether it's MMA related or anything else, music, acting, what would that one golden piece be?
Let me get some Mike Tyson picture and some signed gloves by Mike Tyson. That'd be golden.
Okay. Not bad there. Trying to get the audience, obviously they know who you are, but to find out more about you, you're going to go to dinner. I hate to bring up food, you know, fight week and, you know, while you're doing your cut. So what 4 people would you want to go to dinner with, living or passed away, real or fictitious, but it can't be family members. It can't be from the gym. It could be other fighters, just not from the gym that you see on a regular basis.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to say, let me get Cat Williams in there.
Okay.
Let me get Snoop Dogg. And let me get Mac Miller. One more.
I'll do the Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do.
We don't want Kanye in there.
Yeah. You don't want any part of that. I can help you with your 4th.
Actually, I know who to get. Let me get John Cena in there.
All right. Well, I would have recommended you had Mike Tyson. That way you could have gotten the gloves and the photo.
Oh, yeah. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking.
Don't let that out that I actually thought up that one, but crazy.
My boy is playing chess. I'm playing chess. I got locked in.
Yeah, right. How will you get through the next couple of days? I always like to ask the fighters, are you like from Rocky and you've got, you know, Clubber Lang on the mirror and you're looking at it, or you try not to think about Saturday until Friday night, or walk us through the next couple of days?
Yes, hydrated. I tell people I'm a Nigerian. I'll be Ethiopian by the time I weigh in. So just focus on making weight and then eating some good dinner. But I never think about the fight till I hear 3, 2, 1, walk.
And then you got it locked in.
Yeah, then I'm locked in. I don't want to waste any of that drilling, any of that feeling until I get out there in the cage.
So Terrence, you want to shout out any of your teammates or your camp or anybody, you know?
Those people that would not be invited to the dinner because you already know them and you hang out with them.
Let me give a shout out to Fusion Excel, Manny Ramirez, Lee Alves, Julian Williams. Shout out to my whole team, Brian Santiago, Julio Cesar Chavez, which is crazy. He got a golden name. So shout out to those boys. They helped me tremendously this camp. And shout out to Phil Rowe, Mike Davis, everyone that's doing their thing, Alice. Let's go. And then most importantly, shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Well, so I'm a commissioner with the state of Florida, and on Saturday night in St. Pete, your team represented well. Aaron with the spinning back kick and a quick finish. So shout out to the Fusion XL team. You guys are world-class organization. You guys professionals and everything from everyone top to bottom is what makes the sport so great.
Yes, sir. We appreciate that, boss. You're the man.
Final question. I want to go back to year 4. Are you happy with the turn of John Cena that he's running the heel, and rumor is he's going to switch back? Give me your thoughts on the whole Cena storyline.
Man, he was the man, bro. he was just that guy, man. I used to throw the hands in her face all the time, man. When I was younger, I didn't know what it mean, but it felt good. But yeah, it's good to see him back in there. I think just the way his swag is, the way he carries himself, like he knows what he's doing to keep the things popping. So I think him doing a return is going to be perfect.
It's the Cena's final ride, but it's certainly not yours. Terrence, thank you for your time. Enjoy the process. Eve Edwards once told me fight day is like Christmas. So enjoy the process. Christmas comes on Saturday. And then I know we have your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong for coming on and talking to us today.
I appreciate you guys. It was a pleasure, man. You guys have a wonderful day and enjoy 317 and expect the first round finish, Lord willing. Let's go.
I will see you in the media room after because I will be there. Matt has one more thing.
Yeah, Terrence, so Randy didn't see it on your social media, but there's a video of Santa Claus coming to your door, So if you're going to go from Nigerian to Ethiopian for the next Santa Claus, you're going to have to go Samoan, man. You got to put on some weight.
Let's go.
Good stuff. Terrence, enjoy the process. I'll see you on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Tim. See you guys Saturday.
Take care. That is Terrence McKinney back in action. Like I said, just look at the stats.
Yeah.
Never gone to a decision. Only one time to round 3. Everything else,
Well,
don't blink.
look who he trains with. I mean, if you use Excel, they've got bangers in that gym. It's home of Mike Perry, home of Alex Nicholson and Phil Rowe. And I mean, you got killers coming out of there.
Phil Rowe. Did he find his phone?
I don't know. We're still waiting. Is he on hold?
Is he on hold? Did you get Phil Rowe yet?
Yeah, the Phil callback.
Did you get Phil? Is he finally in a good area?
He's in a bad spot, but now he's in a better one, hopefully.
All right. Let's go hit our real quick short break. We'll end out hour number 2. In studio guest coming. Dave Feldman will be on the line. Good stuff for hour number 3.
Yo, this is Sebastian Bach, and you're listening to Knockout Radio. Turn it up.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
What's up? This is Sean Lights Out Merriman, former Charger, now CEO, co-founder of Lights Out Extreme Fight, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back. 8 minutes or so left in hour number 2. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We continue getting guests that will be out at the comic convention in not only Atlanta, but Tampa as well. And I've neglected to give away some tickets. So we do have tickets to give away.
I want people to be there.
Well, what day do we not want them there?
I don't know my schedule yet, but I will be live delivering a keynote speech.
This should be interesting.
It's interesting. I didn't think it was going to ever happen, but here we are. So I'm excited.
I'll make sure it's the day that I'm not there.
You got to be my moderator. Take questions for the field.
Does anybody bring a box of Fruit Loops for my guest?
No. You can bring spinach, like Popeye. You can bring pizza. That's the Ninja Turtle superfood.
How are you going to dress?
Do you want the truth? Or give me a lie to you? I'm going to dress professional and go as a representative of anime fans. No, I'm not. I'm going to paint myself green like the Incredible Hulk, and then I'm going to deliver my speech. Then I'm going to go find Lou, and I'm going to put him on the back of my truck, and we're going to work out. But I'm going to be like, my whole goal is to be shredded, like the shredder, like the Ninja Turtle. But
when are you going to start?
I'm already here. I'm on a fast right now. I do a cake to cake fast every year, 7 days. Last night, my youngest daughter turned 11. When the cake went down, the start of my fast, I fast all the way till July 1st, my oldest daughter's birthday. So cake to cake, 7 days to clean out dormant cells, get my body to a level of autophagy, a cellular detoxing, and get rid of like 20 pounds of adipose tissue stores. And that's biohacking, Randy. That's what we do. But yes, I intend to be in the best shape of my life because I'm going to be on a big stage and I can't go up there and look soft. I got to be shredded.
It would call a Roger.
Call a Roger. All right. Welcome to the program, Roger. Are you there? This is Knockout Radio.
Hey, yeah, I'm here. Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
This is our first call in quite some time. So what's on
We
your
don't
mind?
normally open the phone lines. So
Yeah, what do you got?
Talk to Matt.
Oh, well, listen, I got a question for you. You think in Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, you think he's got the fight skills to make it to the big game?
Patrick Swayze is a professional fighter. Do you think he would make it in the league?
Now we're back.
No, not
Yeah.
in Roadhouse, though.
No, he was legit in Roadhouse.
I mean, he tore a guy's throat out.
Yeah. Well, it was his heart, but yeah.
Could he take prime George Foreman, though?
In a real fist fight or in a movie?
Yeah.
In a fist fight, of course.
I'm going to say, well, seeing that they're both dead, but
in their prime, you would have to do it
in their
both
prime? No, I would take George.
George for sure. Yeah, because there's just levels. to
But
this.
Swayze was an athlete.
Sure.
You know, he was a ballet dancer. He was in great shape.
Yeah.
He just smoked 47 packs of cigarettes a day. Alleged.
All right. Well, now you've offended me with your commentary, so I'm going to get off the phone.
Okay. Well, we appreciate the call.
Well,
I didn't mean
don't,
to
don't,
offend.
don't go, Roger.
Hey, good.
But
thank you.
But Jake Gyllenhaal did go through an MMA protocol for the new Roadhouse remix, and it took him a year to put on real quality muscle. I don't know if he developed the MMA skill set to do the movie authentically. I don't know how Jake Gyllenhaal would fare in a real cage fight. But if we have Zuckerberg doing BJJ and learning martial arts and Mario Lopez and Al Bundy, anybody can be a professional fighter.
Well,
if you train,
anybody can fight. You know,
Yeah.
saying anybody can be a professional fighter is two different things. Patrick Swayze, was phenomenal in the movie, and that's why I've never watched the remake. You can't replace Patrick Swayze.
It was a tough movie to watch.
Do you think I offended him because I said how many packs of cigarettes?
Yeah, what'd you do? We had one call in and you killed it. You already ruined it. Sorry, Roger. Randy's not that bad of a guy, but dang.
Well, he couldn't have fought long.
Why would you?
Because he would have needed a smoke break in the middle of the fight.
But you know what? Like the thing about cigarettes is the biohackers are changing the importance of nicotine. Like nightshade vegetables, tomatoes are high in nicotine. Nicotine is great for the heart because of inflammation. It gives you nootropics for mental clarity and focus. So it's just a bad delivery system because a lot of the tobacco crops are sprayed with herbicides, pesticides, and glyphosate. So, it's not the nicotine that's bad. So the 47 packs of cigarettes a day might have actually been an enhancement.
No.
Look,
the 47 packs of cigarettes was not good. If he wanted to do 47,
too much tar,
nicotine,
too much inhaling the vapors. But there's a different delivery set though. If he would have used patches, it's no different than Terrence McKinney being sponsored by a hemp company for focus, clarity, for medical mushrooms, microdosing. where are we going to draw the line? Like Mark Irwin, the Shark, the BKFC fighter, BYB fighter, he took something ridiculous, like a huge amount of medical mushrooms before a fight. What's a performance-enhancing drug these days? Because nicotine,
we've talked about that.
Nicotine is a performance-enhancing drug.
We've talked about all that. The baseball players that wear those necklaces, that's performance-enhancing, supposedly, right?
Anything that changes your biochemistry naturally is an enhancement, including water. If you're taking sodium and potassium, I mean, everything that you consume, right? But where do you draw the line?
Could Patrick Swayze have fought Al Bundy?
No.
Right.
Al Bundy's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Al Bundy would.
He'll sell you a pair of pumps and then pump your head over there with it. There's Mario Lopez. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Yeah, no, he trains.
He looks great. He's got great transition. He's quick. He's fast. In his 50s, showing that martial arts is a lifetime commitment to fitness, confidence, strength, ability.
Could he take Preppy, though?
Huh?
From the TV show? It was the two dudes. The one guy who went on to big acting stuff, and Mario Lopez went more.
John?
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Google it by the time.
No, I think Mario's legit, and I think Zuckerberg's legit.
No, of course he is.
I mean, Zuckerberg being a tech guy and a Facebook founder, and
what else is legit? 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. 2 guests coming up. Hour number 3. Roger, appreciate the call.
Yeah,
this
one lost fan.
Knockout Radio, brought to you by
Roger.
8 Man
Call
Strong
back.
and Staff Zone.
What's going on, guys? Reggie Bush, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump is returning to Washington after the NATO summit and a press conference in which he insisted, despite an intelligence assessment, the U.S. wiped out Iran's nuclear program. Linda Kenyon reports.
The president says this much is clear.
We destroyed the nuclear.
At a press conference following the NATO summit at The Hague, Trump pushed back against leaked intelligence reports stating Iran's nuclear program was set back but not destroyed, and that the nuclear materials were removed before the airstrikes.
Since then, we've collected additional intelligence. We've also spoken to people who have seen the site, and the site is obliterated. And we think everything nuclear is down there. They didn't take it out.
The president also says U.S. and Iranian officials will talk next week. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
NATO leaders agreed to a massive hike in defense spending. That's something President Trump has demanded for years. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
NATO allies have agreed a new defense investment pledge, raising defense and security spending to 5% of GDP by 2035, making NATO stronger, fairer, and more lethal than ever.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell said today President Trump's tariffs are likely to push up inflation in the coming months. He made his remarks in testimony on Capitol Hill, where some Republicans accused him of bias. President Trump was asked today if he had replacements in mind for Powell.
I know within 3 or 4 people who are going to pick. I mean, he goes out pretty soon, fortunately, because I think he's terrible.
Trump has sharply criticized Powell for not cutting interest rates. At least 50 heat records were broken yesterday, and 127 million Americans are under heat advisories again today in New York City.
It's just sweltering, like really just being in an oven.
The extreme heat could lessen in some areas tomorrow. A new study claims millions of children are at risk worldwide because they aren't getting vaccinated.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. The biggest study of its kind, published in The Lancet, has found that millions of children worldwide are at risk of lethal diseases because vaccination rates have stalled or reversed due to cuts in international aid programs and soaring levels of vaccine misinformation.
A medical panel appointed by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. opened its first meeting today with some controversy. It was planning to review a presentation that cited a non-existent study. The committee reviews scientific evidence to recommend who should receive vaccines. On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow Jones Industrial's down 185 points. This is CBS News.
A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive can make bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hey, this is the A-Hole Show. Wes Sims here, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris, my main man.
All right, we are back 2 hours down, 1 hour to go, coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Network. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. Are you aware of the celebrity that will be in attendance at this year's UFC Hall of Fame induction?
Well, I will not be there, so I'm going to guess.
I said celebrity.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson will be with Mark Kerr.
Okay.
Hope to have Mark Kerr on Friday at the Fan Expo. A nice list. Your new champion, Kayla Harrison, will be there. Amanda Nunes will be there. Should be a lot of fun on Friday and Saturday.
Very nice.
Slap Friday night. New Kids on the Block Saturday night.
Yeah, they're not so new anymore, are they?
No, they're the old guys on the corner.
Yeah.
But, still be a lot of fun.
I mean, speaking of old people still around, have you seen Brooke Burke?
Do they smoke?
Have you seen Brooke Burke lately?
No.
Oh, man. She still looks just as great as she did back in their prime. I mean, because a lot of Pamela Anderson, for example, a lot of like the pinup girls and the poster women that postered bedrooms across this country. I'm sure Roger probably had a poster of Brooke Burke at some point.
Or Patrick Swayze.
But man, she's still killing it. I remember like when I first got married, I had a poster of her in my bedroom above my bed. And my wife, being from Brazil, didn't know who that was. And I said, "Oh, that's my girlfriend." And my wife just believed it at face value.
Hold on a second. So you had a poster. Yeah. This doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Of a pinup.
Yeah.
While you were married.
Well, we were dating.
Well, you said your wife.
Well, she's my wife now. But when we first dated, she came to my apartment, and I had a picture pinned up, just like your Knockout Radio banner behind you.
I would say, how did she marry you?
Thumbtacked. Well, she didn't speak the language, so she didn't understand. There's a barrier. Oh, there's Leslie. Look at Leslie Lacey making it in. She and John Jones running from police today.
Unbelievable.
I mean, like
Miss Jones walking through the door.
I wonder if she got violent with the police like John.
2 hours, 5 minutes.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
31. No, she's not logged in yet until she grabs the headset and all that kind of
come
stuff.
on in.
Just grab a seat.
Leslie, welcome.
So tell us about your ride. It should be right in front of you.
Why don't you sit in the other seat?
Is this your first day?
Well, she didn't see the copy either. So.
Wow. Yeah, I guess.
You don't have me plugged up. I can't hear myself.
You're here. You're live.
I can't hear me in my head.
Yeah, I can't hear you either.
Welcome to the program.
Grab the other one.
We had our first call-in of all time, Leslie.
Yeah.
And Randy didn't take long. It lasted about 2 minutes, and Randy offended him, and he hung up. But my point is, when it used to hang up, it used to be a disrespectful act, right? You'd slam the receiver down.
We're sitting the other one.
In the home phone. Yes, it's up there, Leslie. Don't act brave.
Since she's on camera.
That's not your first time. It's like, so
we'll hold on. We'll need to get that, on though, because got somebody coming in 10 minutes.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, just throw it down. I heard it.
There you go, Leslie.
God, this is a professional. Well, she's Army, so she's really not a professional.
But Randy, remember when you used to hang up the phone, you used to slam it down, like you get mad at somebody on the phone, you take it and you slam it on the receiver. Now kids don't even know that sensation. They don't get that satisfaction. Now it's like, oh, what do you mean hang up on somebody? Like, what does
That's
that
a
mean?
great point. I mean, something there's something to be said about slamming down the phone.
Or slamming down the gas pedal.
Yeah.
You know what?
What else, Leadfoot? How you doing?
You know what? I'm just glad my Speedbuster days are behind me.
Yeah. Why? It might have worked.
Well, no.
Oh, you mean you're the show that you used to do?
Yeah. At WFLA, I was capture speeders. Here's the thing.
How much was the ticket?
Here's the crazy thing.
Oh, he recognized you.
Oh, he knew you.
No, he didn't. I don't think he recognized me, but he took forever. And I'm always like, why did he do that?
Yeah, because we spoke at 11:15. It's 2:30.
Yes, he took forever. Well, I'm coming from, so it takes like about 45 minutes to get here. But yes, I got pulled over on the Courtney Campbell, pulls me over. And I've gotten pulled over twice on the Courtney Campbell, and both times I've gotten out of it. And I got out of this ticket. I'm not sure why, but here's the thing. Like, he made me wait forever in the car. And I'm like,
he was on his lunch break.
Man, it's so rude when they do that. And not only is it rude, but it's dangerous. Like, they want you to move to the side. And then I'm like, wait a minute, is he doing this so he can now pull over other people who don't move over? Like, is he going to do the move over law? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you have to, you know what I'm saying, right?
Well,
you got to move
like,
over.
You could be like John Jones and not stay at the scene, so you're safe.
He was forever in his car, and then he came back, and I'm just like, why do they do that? This has happened more than once.
How fast were you allegedly going?
Maybe, I don't know.
What was the speed limit? 85?
I'm not sure what the speed limit was there. I think on the Courtney, it might be 60.
Yeah, if you go 60, you're getting 65. Run over. Yeah. But it's more dangerous.
No, the limit, the actual posted limit.
Right, but if you're doing the speed limit,
I was not doing the speed limit.
No, that's obvious.
Yeah, so I got pulled over, and
all right, so she couldn't have done 90.
No, I was probably going 15 miles. There wasn't a lot of people on the road. But normally I am so adamant about speeding. I really am. I'm a nut about it. I don't really speed, but I just was,
She's adamant. She does it all the time.
I was listening to my Audible. I was chilling like a villain, and I got pulled over.
That's she was daydreaming. Listen. See, you don't know the conversation we've already had. She was daydreaming. She was excited to come to the studio.
I was.
Not to do the radio show, but the location of the studio.
Yeah, okay.
So she has her bathing suit in the car, and she's headed to the beach. And she was daydreaming while she was doing 140 across the Courtney Campbell.
Well, in a related story,
there is some truth to that. The bathing suit is in the car, and I am going to go get some laps in later. Yeah.
Yesterday on my Facebook feed, I saw Kirk Cousins, the former or current Atlanta Falcons quarterback, was pulled over doing 37 miles an hour
in a 25.
No, in a highway, and he was a danger. He was going so slow.
Oh, was he high?
But he had his hands on a 10 and 2. He was completely safe, going super slow motion, and was pulled over for being a bottling up traffic. Yeah, I mean, because it's equally as dangerous to go too slow as it is to go
not
too
equally
fast.
As dangerous. Nope.
I think I operate better at high speed. I see things ahead of time.
Yeah, but the problem is people don't see things. Here's the thing about that. It encourages speeding. It does. Now, I don't think he should have been going 37. What the heck? That's just bizarre. But
extremely safe.
Yeah, and what was the what was now if it's a 40, if it's 40 and he's going 37, he's okay. But people are going to
probably in the left lane.
Do you think so, Kirk Cousins?
Yeah. No, he was in the right. He was in the right lane. He was in the far right. But, but maybe he was. Yeah, maybe he was puffing the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, usually. I know. I don't know. I hope not.
Because we're talking about the Steeler quarterback.
Which one?
Kirk Cousins. He's talking about. Okay.
You know who the new Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback is, right?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it would be Aaron Rodgers.
He's on
but they're kind of, aren't they kind of having,
Hiawatha.
They're kind of using him as letting him know, like, you're going to mentor who's under you.
No.
Kind of, don't you think?
No. Aaron Rodgers mentors no one.
Yeah, he's coming to play. He's not. Joey Flacco's not mentoring, Shador and Cleveland. He's like, you can watch me. I'm a professional. I'm a veteran. You can study me, but I'm not making you better than me and let you be Tom Brady to Bledsoe.
Oh, there's nobody's going to be Tom Brady. But I will say this: Brett Favre was less. Let's just say he did not. He was not helpful at all to Aaron Rodgers. There's a true story of that. But I would think that Aaron. I think that Aaron would probably be a little bit different because he kind of talks about it. He's like, yeah, no, he wasn't.
I don't.
Well, he was kind of a dick.
Depends on what trip Aaron's
what
on.
Mushroom.
Because he's on those trips. I mean, he does those retreats and
underground and
like ayahuasca and stuff.
Underwater. I mean,
he's cool. I think he's cool.
Well, it might have been cold. It might have been cold under there.
No, he's cool.
Yeah.
Like he's.
I think we should do a Knockout Radio Ashwanda trip. We all just do it and just go find ourselves. Max Griffin will go. And Ed will go.
Ed, I'm getting to see Ed for the first time here.
This is the first time you ever seen him?
Yes, Ed. Hey, how's it going, man?
I would only
Good
be
to see
willing
you.
to do that if we all did it in separate locations.
Don't compliment him on his weight loss. No,
You look great,
I learned
Ed.
my lesson.
You
Don't
look
say
great.
it. Don't do
I
it.
haven't met you before, but you look great. Is that a vet?
I
Are you
said
veteran?
it. I
Ed?
got to yell
One of
at
those things that the glass also has a disclaimer on the bottom: objects in mirror are smaller than they appear.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think we should all do a trip.
As long as it's all separately.
I've never seen Randy drink any alcohol. I've never seen him high. I've never seen him smoke. Never seen him pop a pill. Nothing. This guy, all he does is
drink Diet Coke.
aspartame. He's an aspartame.
He doesn't even eat till 2:00 in the afternoon.
Noon.
Noon? Oh, is it noon?
No, it's 12 to 8.
Okay.
He's addicted to food, and he's addicted.
Not anymore.
He's addicted to Diet Coke.
I'm Diet Coke.
Not Diet Dr. Pepper, huh?
Nope.
Huh.
Nope. I've left restaurants that didn't have Diet Coke.
I have too, but I got over it finally. It took me 20 years to break Diet Coke. I did. I had to do a cleanse, a 6-week herbal cleanse. It was called D Herbs. True story. And I had my buddy Gail Guayardo on it do it. Because she saw me lose.
Gail.
Yeah, Gail saw me lose so much weight so quickly. And it's just basically a vegan kind of thing where you take all these supplements, herbs to still keep yourself healthy. And it's really great. You drop, but you don't do any, saccharin, any sugar, anything. I dropped like, 10 pounds within days. It was crazy.
Is Gail still on air?
She's on Bloom, which is also WFLA's other station. She does a morning show. It's called when she hosts it. And she's great at it. But she did this herb thing, right? And you know what happened?
She gained weight.
No, she passed out.
What?
She passed out.
You're
and we
a
had
bad
to call
influence.
the ambulance. And everybody at WFLA was like, what are you doing to our main good? She literally passed out. And we had to call the ambulance. And it was at the actual
well, they had video
at
of
the
it,
desk.
so it was
no,
great
it
on
was
YouTube.
in between like a commercial. Nobody knew, but I felt terrible. It's just not apparently it was not the herbal cleanse for Gail's body, but it was for me.
It worked for you.
Yes.
You almost dropped 100 and some pounds.
It cost her like $2,000
Well,
on the
got
ambulance.
Out of the car, you could have drove her to the hospital faster than an ambulance.
Exactly.
It was bad. It was so bad. I felt terrible.
Well, she used to be a big pizza fan. She used to come to the Tour de Pizza when I first opened in the Northeast Shopping Center.
There you go. Gail's Italian. She likes pizza.
Her parents had performing arts tickets next to my parents.
Oh, that's cool.
So they were performing art mates.
Yeah.
Let's go hit a break. Let's get the fourth mic set for our guest due here momentarily. And we'll talk a little BKFC action in Texas when we return.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy, Juice Smith-Schuster, man. Shout out to Knockout Radio. Turn up.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Yo, maniacs! Hulk Hogan here, the greatest of all time, and you're listening to Knockout Radio. So what you gonna do?
I got to disagree with that. Hulk Hogan's not the greatest of all time.
Of course he is.
He's
Stop
the
the
biggest.
blasphemy. Don't say that.
He may be the biggest name
Of all time.
He might be the biggest name.
In
He's not
wrestling.
the, he's
Of
not
any
the greatest
federation.
wrestler of all time.
No, he's not the best skilled wrestler of all time, but he's definitely the biggest name of all time.
And the close second, in your opinion, with the biggest name to me is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, I mean, they're both 1 and 2, but Hogan's bigger.
Hogan
was a game changer, guys.
Well,
That's a
the
difference.
NWO thing changed wrestling
Yeah.
as we know it.
Who do you think's the most popular of all time?
It has to be one of those two.
No, the most popular
Iron
of all
Sheik.
time? The Rock. You
I
got to
mean,
spread it. Oh, come on.
I'd have to say I'd have to say what age era you're going to ask for, because in my era, you'd have to say Dusty Rhodes.
Virgil was the man.
But it wasn't as, the thing is, wrestling wasn't as big then
Well, it
as
didn't
it
have
is
the
now.
coverage it does today.
That's true. Yeah.
You didn't have social media and WWE or any
But
kind
you
of
had
pay-per-view.
movies back then, and you had
But
movies.
nobody did the cross like
In
like
color,
Dwayne
too.
did.
Yeah, Dwayne.
No, it wasn't in color back then.
What?
Movies.
But I'd
Those
say,
are your cataracts.
I'd say Vince McMahon is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Who?
Vince McMahon.
Oh,
Because
classic guys.
because now that he's not there, wrestling fell off. It's not nearly what it once was. It sucks now. And so you need
It's
that.
just different.
You need that energy. You need that bad guy. You need that boss mentality. Like people like the stick it to the man. And Vince played a great career, great character, and he blurred that line between real and fiction, right? So I think Vince doesn't get the credit he deserves. He's up there. I mean, Vince could be number 1 of all time.
I had a wrestling character once, and this.
You had one?
Yeah, I had
What
one.
does that mean?
I was doing it. This is a true story. This is back in Nashville. I'm like 18, and they're trying to get women a little bit. Women aren't really into wrestling yet, but they're trying to build a crossover. And there were some guys, I can't remember who they were, but I was on a shoot. Of a music video, and I can't even remember the band. It might have been Creedence Clearwater, but anyways, I had, I was one of the background people, or I had a featured extra role in it. I can't remember who it was. But anyhow, they come up to me And we're talking, and then they're wrestling things, and we're talking about different, characters and things. And they wanted me to try to get into wrestling. And I also had people trying to get me into stunts and stuff because I was really athletic. So here's what my wrestling character is going to be. I didn't go with this, and it's probably a good thing I did not, but it was going to be a nun. Okay. And I come out and I would be like, Sister Catholic or something, or, and I would come out in this nun uniform. And then when I would take off the nun uniform, I'd be like, yeah. And it would be like my alter ego coming out. I figured it was going to piss off so many Catholics. It would be legendary, but I didn't do it.
That's very similar to a show in Vegas.
Men Your Business?
No. It's honestly, it's probably my favorite show I've ever seen in Vegas. And it's at the Wynn, and it's something saloon. And they have these, so this nun is there. And then all of a sudden I think it was her that would play the xylophone, spitting a ping pong ball out of her mouth. And she would hit all the things, and then she ripped it off, and she was all in black leather and stuff. And it was it was gonna
be like that. But I don't know. It could have been a different. I guess if I had gone the stunt way, I had a lot of opportunities for that. I just didn't go that way when I was younger.
Let's look at the card for Saturday before we run out of time.
I was looking up how they found almost 1,000 babies at a Catholic nun, place for women or unwed.
The hell are you talking about?
What are we talking about here?
He's not doing his job. He's doing porn sites and stuff.
None your business.
No. He's talking about how basically you get thee to the nunnery. You ever heard that saying? That's when they would take women who guys knocked up. Okay, because and then they would send the women to the nunnery because it was supposed to be an embarrassment. And those nuns were pretty awful to them. You hear a lot of stories and stuff like that, and you were pretty much shunned and shamed. But that's where you would go.
To get rid of the baby.
Or to have people help you take care of the baby.
And now if a guy gets a girl pregnant, they just call immigration. Call ICE and they take care of it.
They're going to start rioting here.
What are you talking about?
We're watching
Someone tells me there's
channel.
most of the deadbeat dads are probably not illegal aliens in this country. The dads aren't.
The side girls are.
Because if they have the baby here, they'll have it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
terrible
you
humor.
don't have child support if they ship them out of the country.
I thought I heard a doorbell. I thought the doorbell was the front door.
That was me about
just now,
20 minutes ago.
No, I just heard it. The animals due here any second.
Make sure you tip 20% for opening the door. That's a standard for any deliveries.
Who's going to tell him he's late?
Well, yeah, we'll tell him. I'll tell him. Oh, Leslie,
if he really looks, see, he doesn't look as bad as he did in this picture. He looks a little calmer. He looks a little.
With a polo shirt, very presentable.
Yeah, he looks professional. That one picture was scary. So we're going to talk a little bit about Texas.
Yeehaw.
Dave Feldman due on here. Dave Feldman due on in the 2 segments.
Okay, so the boss man's coming on.
But right now, got to put the headset on and let's chat. We don't want to piss him off right away. Give us time. Let's welcome to the program the very victorious Rodney Hinton. Rodney, how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good, man. Just healing and recovering. Everything's going pretty good.
How did you work on that photo that's flying all over Facebook? Because that's scary. Yeah. I wanted security here for when you walk through the door, but you look a whole lot better than that picture.
Oh yeah, it's just when fight time comes, I turn into my nickname. I literally just turn into the animal. I block everything off. I dig deep from my past and everything that I went through, and everything forms into this guy that a lot of people don't really see. It's actually scary to a lot of people, but I'm a pretty good, calm and collected, respectful person on the outside.
So we're going to hang out. Feldman will be on in about 18 minutes or so. But the most important question I think I can ask you right now, we've just become best friends. How are we going to spend your bonus?
Probably just giving back to my team, man. Just giving back to my team, doing whatever I can possibly do for our gym, probably some new equipment and stuff like that. Just making sure I get back to the people that I came up with, because I can't forget about them. It's never one man in the crew.
That's great. I didn't expect that kind of an answer.
No,
what a
I did
good
not.
dude.
Yeah.
What a good
I gotta
guy.
say, just meeting you here in person, you're so the guy next door. Isn't he? Like, you would never in a million years think you're a fighter. Never.
Go to bkfc.com and look at his fight from over the weekend.
Yeah, you don't even look like you've been in a fight. I don't see any.
No, you heal quick, my friend. You heal quick.
I had a few cuts. You know what I mean? I had a few cuts, but thank God I healed pretty fast, like the Wolverine, man. Even the hand, even the sword hands,
you look.
they're coming down.
There's a
you
new
would never know
nickname.
you're even in a fight.
There's
so.
a new nickname around the corner.
But the key
Wolverine.
is not to get hit, right? I mean, the whole goal is to not get punched in the face, right?
Yeah.
You told me we met online, through social media, and we've had you on, and now you're going to be part of the program with, hopefully moving forward. How do you flip it on and flip it off and, do what you did? I watched, and I'll tell Dave this, BKFC over the weekend, I wanted to watch 2 fights, and both fighters were incredible. Morrison, what he did and what you did. I know what you did here in Clearwater. Matt was working it in the commission. I had a wedding, so I couldn't attend. And I never expected to see what you said I was going to see.
Yes. I honestly, even me and Christine, we were up talking about it late last night. I was a little frustrated with my performance because that was the ultimate goal, was to get him out of there. But she said, just the fight that I had put on, just showing heart, showing guts, showing determination, having every possibility of a lose situation in the win, from having points deducted to being knocked down to having the state of Texas go against me and stuff like that, from being able to overcome every single part of that. It only makes me a better fighter, and it shows that I can take anything in the BKFC and that I'm definitely ready for this stage. So when she gave me, when she hit me with it like that, from that perception, I was like, yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense.
That fight, Matt, and I know you and I used to talk about this all the time. It reminded me of yesterday, old school. There was a lot of trash talking. There was some things said, I'm sure, during the fight. But like in the old day, the fight was over. You guys embraced after, and you move on. Where today, it's gimmicks, it's this, it's that. So I respected both of you guys for how you fought and then how you handled it after.
Yeah, thank you, Randy. And it was actually authentically real. Like, nothing was scripted, nothing was plotted behind the scenes where we're talking and we're saying we're gonna hype the fight up, we're gonna do this and that. Everything you seen between Rodney Hitton and Darren Whitney was extremely real. He had a lot that he was fighting for, which is what I learned from being back there in the medical center with him. He had a lot he was fighting for. I had a lot that I was fighting for. It was nothing personal between me and him, but it was that competitive stage just came out that we really wanted to take each other's heads off, and we wanted to make our presence known that we really want to become one of the best stars in BKFC.
What is your relationship? How did you get a relationship with the champ for, in Vegas? I know that you went out there, and I think you're with Kevin Smith as well, right?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Kevin Smith. Shout out to best coach in the world, Brandon Gold. Shout out to Smith Brothers Fighting Academy while we're at it.
So, okay, so I'm supposed to do some controversial stuff with you, so don't hurt me. But so
hold on. Do you want to be part of the show?
Absolutely.
Then hurt him. The more you hurt him, the more you'll be involved.
Hold on, before we get to that, what's your weight class? What do you fight at?
Weight class, I fight at 65. I'm probably going to be going down to 55 from what my team wants me to do.
Oh, that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah, probably going to be going down to 55.
It's a nightmare. Speaking of nightmares, I believe fighters, they're showing me one nickname per fighter. So everybody's
full disclosure, Matt's an idiot. Just
everyone who has the nickname Animal should fight it out to see who actually gets to keep the title. So
absolutely.
I don't know, maybe a Travis Thompson.
BKFC. I want him right now. I'll take that fight tomorrow.
Wow, yeah, a veteran and Rodney, the up and comer. So
it can only be one Animal, and Travis is an amazing fighter, nothing but love and shout out to him and respect to him for everything he's done with the BKFC organization. He's a tremendously great fighter, but there can only be one Animal, and it's not no Travis Thompson.
Where did you get the name from? Because you can't give it to yourself. So obviously somebody gave it to you. Tell us that. Well, let's hit this break and then tell us the story about your nickname, the Animal.
Absolutely.
Coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Network. This is Knockout Radio.
Hi, this is Bill Romanowski, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
I'm very excited to announce that Knockout Radio finally has our very own Challenge Coin, thanks to Challenge Coin Country. Challenge Coin Country is a family-run business with over 17 years experience making custom challenge coins, lapel pins, bottle openers, keychains, and many other custom products. They even produced 2 different variations for us, one for military recipients and a slightly different coin for civilians. I strongly suggest you check them out at challengecoincountry.com. with free express shipping, and they proudly offer discounts for first responders and military as well. That's Challenge Coin Country at challengecoincountry.com.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Matt McClellan. And if you know me, I would care about this community greatly. And I have the devastation from Hurricane Helene realizes that people need me, whether it's accountability or friendship or a ride or a workout or just someone to help them with perspective. And I want you to know that for 15 years, I deliver pizza, but today I deliver hope. And if you need any of that, then please call me, 727-557-4421. A slice a day. Peace.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Taylor, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we're back hanging out in the 10 Talk Radio Network studio. Week 3 here, 3 weeks in a row. Will we be here next week, or will we be back at our location? We'll find out later. Brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. Hanging out with the animal, Rodney Hinton. What do you want?
Well, we had a call-in earlier, our first call-in ever. What was his name?
I don't know. Roger,
if you're still listening, he called in to see if Patrick Swayze was a real martial artist. If he would fight George Foreman, who would win? A prime Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse versus the real-life George Foreman.
Wasn't he in Ghost too?
Not the griller,
Yes.
not
Yeah, he was
the
in Ghost,
barbecue guy, right? Not the barbecue, but Randy offended him because, and now he's not there. But
Well, I offended him because I said Patrick Swayze smoked like 57 packs of cigarettes a week. So I might have said, damn.
But Rodney
He got offended.
Rodney Hinton just disclosed that he is a theater guy. He went to college for theater. So if you
Scholarship.
are on screen, you absolutely could fight for real in the real Roadhouse.
Absolutely. Most definitely could.
And it takes nowadays, you kind of have to have a theatrical edge to you, especially in wrestling. We all know that. And fighting too, you've got to be able to really put yourself out there, not just in the ring, but, out publicly.
Yes.
Or differently, if you have a theater degree, you need to have something else to fall back on. My daughter also has a theater degree. And what she does has nothing to do with theater.
Or if you're Chris Rock and Will Smith comes up and slaps you, you want to know how to defend yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dave Chappelle's comedians, people on stage and public theaters are attacked by random fans.
All right, so we know a little bit about Dave Chappelle. Let's find out a little bit about Rodney. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Kind of looks like a young Dave Chappelle, like a button collared up shirt.
Yeah,
little
man.
Kanye flair to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love sports, man. Something about me. I've done everything growing up. Basketball, football, track, wrestling. I've done every single sport growing up, and rugby was probably the main sport that brought the most competitive edge out of me.
Rugby.
Yes.
Wow, that was in Iowa?
Yes, that was in Iowa. We competed for 2 national championships back to back from 2016 to 2017. So
So there's flag football, NFL versus rugby. Right? I got crucified on this program for saying an idiot that rugby players are not athletic, that they're not as good of athletes. You and Ed talking about how the NFL guys are skilled position players.
First of all,
and in a flag football game, rugby players have no chance. That it's not a power strong game; it's a finesse game.
First of all, I never said rugby players are not athletic. No, I didn't. I said NFL players will beat rugby players in flag football.
I agree.
Right.
Let's get Rodney's take.
Just because the football players, they have more of the edge in football, they kind of understand a little bit more. Like, I definitely agree. Like, they definitely probably would beat the rugby players. But if the rugby players, if with the dedication and everything that they overcome, not being hit with pads and being able to have athletic ability and movement, if they did pick up on the game, like it would be a close game. But I definitely give the edge to the football players.
Again, it's two different sports, you know, so it's that same thing. Will a boxer beat an MMA fighter? And we proved that with Randy Couture. But if you flip it, if Randy Couture fought Tony in boxing, it's a different sport. So if you were to say, would NFL players beat rugby players in rugby, I'd probably take rugby.
Of course.
So I'm saying I'm not going to take rugby players.
But I've never seen Martin Gramatica run and kick a ball off the ground and through a upright. You know, the rugby players, they got skill, man.
Wait, Martin Gramatica can play soccer.
Yeah, but
he's a
never
great
run and
soccer
kick
player.
a ball up the ground like a rugby player.
How do you know?
Yeah, I believe he could.
First of all,
Yeah.
as you know, and second of all, you didn't say rugby,
Get him over
moron.
there.
You didn't say rugby.
I
You
wanna
just said
set this
kick a
up.
ball.
I
He's
wanna-
a
I
soccer
wanna
player
put
too.
together this team. Rodney will help me recruit. We'll bring 7-on-7, just like the rugby sevens in
I
Vegas.
love sevens. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah,
The big sevens that's in Vegas.
The greatest sevens player of all time, by the name of Waseli Serevi, who played for Fiji. I've had the privilege of meeting him, and when I was pursuing rugby, which I was going to hit major leagues before I actually started fighting. That's
Wow.
what a lot of people don't know. I was going to do major league rugby. And Waseli Serevi is one of those guys who was just one of those leaders and used to give me the game and give me certain steps to use when I would break through the field and I have the ball and stuff like that. He's taught me a lot. So I've been in there with some high caliber guys.
So explain to me, when they go and throw that guy in the air and he catches explain that whole thing. What am I watching?
Basically, that's just sacrificing commitment and just believing in your team. Because I took a few shots to where I had open field and I got two teammates trailing me. In football, it's a little different. You throw the football forward, the quarterback will throw the football forward. In rugby, you pass it backwards. So sometimes you're going to have to take some licks because your opponent will be, not your opponent, your teammate will be open, and you got a guy coming like head on, like Ray Lewis style at you. So sometimes it's best to just toss it out and let him get the space so he can toss it to the next opponent.
No, I'm saying when they throw it in, I guess it was out of bounds or whatever, and they throw it, they're lined up, and then they take the one dude and they throw him in the air.
Okay, yeah,
so that so I don't know anything about rugby. I just enjoyed sevens.
Yep, I was a flanker. I also played flanker, so I was the guy going up to catch it. That's
Really?
just trying to win position for the ball so you can get it back to your team.
I don't know if you guys know what we're talking
I
about.
don't,
I was
actually.
a hooker. So,
I know that.
So on and off the field.
I had a couple guys tell me about that.
He still is a male hooker.
Yeah, I'm still a hooker. But yeah, you get the ball from the scrum and then
Catch
you
him
kick it
out on
to the flankers.
menlikeyen.com.
Yeah, those are basically just like line outs. And even once you get in, like even when somebody get tackled and you go in and knock the other player out, that's called a ruck. So
explain this for those of us who aren't
Me included.
really adept on rugby. You're saying you toss a guy up
You throw
into
him up
the
in the
air?
air.
No. So you actually
Yes.
so the smallest guy.
Well, let's
usually in
have
the middle.
Rodney
Yeah, let
explain.
Rodney
Because
explain.
Rodney's the rugby
he's talking
player.
about the line out. Like once the ball's like out of the play, and then like you form and you try to go up and catch it. You know what I mean? That's just to get position of the
Who
ball.
throws
With
it?
Probably the hooker. I would say it'd be the hooker or it'd
See,
be
we always
there's Matt throwing another dude in the
If
air.
there's balls involved, it's a hooker.
but the defense can also steal it. So you gotta it takes like we have so many structures. We have so many times like where we would try to put a different scheme on the opponents. We'll go forward and then we'll go back, like try to get them to engage and go ahead and try to get it back here. Even if they steal it, they take possession. So it's basically like a steal in basketball, if you put it like that.
Really want to talk more about Rodney's background, but as you're explaining rugby, explain what happened in the Olympics when the women won the medal, how she went the distance. How rare is that for her to be able to do that?
It's extremely rare, and that's why you just never know in rugby, because the most things happen that you don't expect, especially in rugby, like even with the All Blacks, so. Yeah, man.
Explain going the distance when you say
she
that.
went end zone to end zone and won the game.
Yeah.
The game was over.
winning
It's one of those like 6 seconds left. The ball's at the negative 77 yard line and the game's over. Everybody knows the game's over. And it was like she went Mike Allstott from end zone to end zone to score the winning points for the USA team to win their first medal.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I did not
Then
see
she
that
was
game.
on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah.
For the
She did a
team
good-
winning, it's a miracle. It's like something in the movie. At the time when it's happening, you're just going crazy. You can't really control yourself. Of course, for the losing team, it's just a heartbreaker. We've been in those situations where I was coaching at Cedar Falls High School, the team that I played for in high school. We were coaching the team and we were heading to high school. We were heading to state championship. And the game before we got to the state championship, that's literally how we won. Literally the last 5 seconds, we beat a team by the name of Waverly. They were coached by Casey Hansen, who was my old team. So it was basically student versus coach. And that was, we both wanted it. So like to get that type of victory, like, it was unbelievable.
Like the Miami Miracle. Remember the Miami Miracle when the Dolphins had no time left and they kicked it off? They came back and beat the Patriots.
Well, same with the Eagles and Giants.
Yeah, I know, but we're in Florida.
Yeah. So how did you go from Iowa to Florida? What brought you to the Tampa Bay area?
My mom had came down to Melbourne, Florida originally. She was staying with my uncle. My uncle was originally down here. That's why I came down. And plus, I love Iowa. Like, to everybody there at home in Iowa, guys, don't take this the wrong way. I love all you guys. You know that.
You just love us more.
Yeah. I'm more of a Floridian. Like, Florida was just that spot for me when I got down here. Iowa was just too small. And
do you still own a coat?
It's hot up there.
Do you still own a coat? Because we don't own coats.
I don't anymore.
Okay. I don't even have shoes.
I agree. Same here. All I wear is slides. Anybody that'll tell you Ronnie's a slide wearing guy. So
I gotta say something about Iowa too, though, and just throwing in a little meteorology perspective here. It is hot in the summer. It is. Yes. It is unbelievably
but
way
you know what
hotter
else
than
is
here.
in Iowa? Cold.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Later on.
I'm sick of
corn.
snow.
And corn. A lot of corn.
Yeah, did you do corn detasseling in high school?
A bunch of it.
Yeah.
The worst days.
People don't even know.
Yeah, the worst days. But the money was great.
It was.
Yeah.
They put you in these buckets on tractors. You go down the corn and you got to pull the tassels out of the corn, but you got to wear long sleeves and gloves because they'll cut you. They'll cut
You manually do that
Yeah,
still?
manual.
Wow, I figured some
On all the
machine.
video games, it's machines.
Work all summer. You work all summer.
No, nothing.
Randy's playing corn video.
No, it's a Farm Quest or something. It was like where you build farms, and it was so bad. The former owner of Warrior Wear, and he was a sponsor, so I stayed at his house. He got me. I'm like, no, I don't want to play this stupid ass game.
Farm Quest.
Well, you have to grow your crops or rip your crops or whatever it's called every 4 hours.
Yep.
I set my alarm for 3:30 in the morning to clear my crops on a farm video game.
Bro, we would work all summer and get a Walkman. We would get like a little
That's Randy's workout.
A little tape player, like the headphones. But if you had a Sony Walkman in like 7th grade, you were a G.
Cool, yeah.
Because you
man,
worked all summer, you earned that money, and then you walked around school with that big
Except
flex.
if it's 2000.
Yeah. And who beat you up and took your Sony Walkman from you?
Everyone. Rodney Hinton, the animal.
That's how we get.
Well, he's got them on right now. He's wearing headphones. Those were my quarantine tasseling headphones.
Rodney, speaking of being like beat up, I kind of wonder what made you. I always like to ask this question because I'm curious, like, what inside of you made you want to fight people?
My family background. I have a bunch of uncles that were pros. One of my uncles, by the name of Uncle Hal, he sparred Muhammad Ali in 1963 at Windy City Gym. I have an uncle by the name of Jamal Hinton who trained underneath Emmanuel Stewart at the Kronk Gym. He was 22-0 back in the 80s.
Wow.
It just came like, I guess, I never really knew I wanted to fight. Just one time I went to the gym and it was just never the same. It's just like, yeah, this is
it.
definitely.
You just knew. It's in your blood, in your DNA. What about the Muhammad Ali fight? Like, what did he tell you? Did he give you any the sparring that he did? Did he give you any, some cool stories about that?
Yeah, he probably said Muhammad Ali's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally it. He just said Muhammad Ali's the greatest of all time. He's never been hit. Like, Muhammad Ali had crazy speed. Be a heavyweight, be 6'3", 220 plus, and you're hitting like a lightweight. Like, my uncle didn't know how to deal with that, and he was running through everybody at the time.
But could your uncle beat Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse?
I'm going to say yes. I'm also going to say let's go hit our final break of the afternoon. Then we're going to reach out to the president of BKFC, David Feldman, as we continue the conversation with Rodney Hinton here in the Tan Talk Radio Network studios.
This is Mike Evans with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, this is Uriah Faber, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back hanging out in studio. Final segment here at the 10 Talk Radio Network. Rodney Hinton in studio, but on the line with us right now, the president of BKFC. We're going to talk about not only his fight, but the incredible evening in Texas. Let's welcome back to the program, the regular on the show, Dave Feldman. Dave, how are you?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you feeling after the inaugural there in Texas? And I know what I watched. Tell me what it was like you watching it there.
It was one of the best energetic crowds we've ever had. Everybody was very, very receptive to it. Some of the best fights that we've ever put together, and some real legends on the cards. Some big people there. It was just an amazing event. All in all. Hey, I jumped in the last minute. Who was Rodney Hinton's father or uncle?
Who sparred? Who did you say sparred with Muhammad Ali?
Uncle Al. Uncle Al.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh man.
Well, let's talk about his fight. I know I saw the video, and you were going to have it fight of the night, and then the main event, and you're like, I'm going to give both. So let's talk about Rodney's fight.
Yeah, it was incredible. Look, I gave a speech beforehand. I told the guys it's our first time in Texas. Let's fight your ass off. You all get fight your ass off awards. So initially, right after the first round, I already marked him down for fight your ass off bonus tonight. And then, the fight was just incredible. They both rocked each other, and, they both wanted it, and they fought their ass off, and they gave the Texas fans everything that I wanted them to show them, and they did. And, they earned some extra money and a spot, obviously, with BKFC for a long time.
There you go, Rodney. Coming straight from the boss.
Just grateful. I just want to tell him on the hand why he's on board. Like, David Feldman, thank you for every single thing you've done, from the opportunities to giving me jobs, security jobs at BKFC, for allowing me to coach certain pros, that even as coming up as an amateur, allowing me to coach certain BKFC pros and be at these events. Like, every single thing you've done, man, have changed my life. And I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that opportunity. And that's why I'm telling you, every single fight that I have, win, lose, or draw, I guaranteed it will be a fight of the night type performance. I will lay every single thing out there.
I appreciate it, man. And you did. So I don't doubt you at all, but you're welcome. And thank you very much, man.
So when I knew when I knew that Rodney was coming, we're going to talk about Kenzie in a second, I had to bring security here. I've seen the photo of him online, which was scary. I saw his fight over the weekend, which was scary. Security here, not knowing what this animal is. What a polite young man. And it's nothing like what anybody would expect out of Rodney.
No, man. Super nice, super pleasant, super humble, just a good guy. These guys, that's what I said. Like this, I demand respect. And that's another thing I said there. I said, I demand respect. And if you don't respect, your opponent, the commission, and the fans, you'll never be back here. And if you do respect them and you fight your ass off and you get dropped and you lose and you do it again and you lose and you fight your ass off, you'll have a job here at BKFC forever.
Your speech that you just talked about reminded me of the first speech that you did. And, that passion, and you and I talk a lot, that passion that you had BKFC 1 is the same thing that I saw out of you over the weekend.
Yeah, man. It was funny because, the flame kind of dims a little bit just because all the stress that we're dealing with. But I was so excited about the Texas event, and I just wanted to show the commission, really, you've been saying no to us for 5 years, and this is why you shouldn't have said no to us. And the fighters back me up on that, man. And I take my hat off to them 100%.
Talk about what I believe will be your next big superstar in Kenzie Morrison, who did everything that we expected. He has the pressure of the last name. He did the show last week. We talked about that. How excited are you of his fight and his future in BKFC?
I think first and foremost, I'm excited because he was just very, very easy to deal with. The only thing that was a little difficult with him, he doesn't like the media. He doesn't like the press. And it's just because he's a humble guy, not because he's, I'm not talking to him. He's just like, he doesn't, want to be that superstar, but he does want to be that superstar. So we just have to coach him a little bit there. Other than that, a nice guy, obviously big, can punch, and did his job, man. It's just a pleasure to work with Kenzie. And I do think he does have the ability to be a star. Actually, after that fight, I leaned over to Junior and I'm like, this is our next superstar.
And the thing about Kenzie, and we talked about it with him last week, is with that name, you're going to have the doubters, you're going to have the haters. And let's be honest, and your partner in Conor McGregor, if you have haters, you can go to the next level because people will always tune in to watch you in hopes that you lose.
100%. I mean, this is what we just talked about yesterday. So we're working on a big docuseries right now with a superstar, like an unbelievable superstar, who literally called and just said, I want to help you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I was like a little kid in a candy store. Like, I was jumping around the house, telling my wife, I'm like, this dude just said he wants to help me blow it up. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Anyway, why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because when we were talking about, we're going to tell the stories of the fighters, right? We're going to tell the good stories, the stories that had the bad upbringings and had to battle through everything to get there. We're also going to tell the stories of the bad guys, the guys that we don't like, the guys that we don't really like, and the fans don't really like, because people love to not, to root against someone. And we're going to create guys that they can root against and guys that they can root for. And I think that's all part of really the evolution of this thing.
And the funny thing about that is, as you're telling this, and I don't know anything about the doc, you mentioned it on the air. The first guy that comes to mind, and so many people dislike Lorenzo Hunt, and he's the nicest guy. He does everything that I know you want him to do and everything media-wise, but people love to hate this guy for some reason.
Yeah, man, but he gets it. Like, he gets that it's okay to have people hate you. Some people just take it to heart too much and they can't really live with that. He's okay with that because, listen, the wrestling guys are great at this, and the wrestling guys go like this. Because I asked a bunch of them, I said, do you really want to lose? And then they go, I don't care if I win or lose. I care if the crowd pops. It's all about the pop of the crowd. If the crowd gets what they came to see, that's all I'm there for. And that's, Lorenzo has that mentality.
Now, I know Matt has a question, but you mentioned wrestlers. I'm having a brain cramp. I can't think of his name. I know he fought Wes Sims. I cornered Wes in that fight. In attendance, and I guess he's interested in throwing down and towing the line?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Great guy. Again, what a really nice guy, man. Brought his family out there, was very humble. But it's funny because he watched Kenzie Morrison fight, and he was like, I can beat that guy. And I'm like, wow, man, that might be a nice little fight we're going to cook up here. But he was great. He does want to talk. We are going to talk this week or next week. And, we'll see if we can bring him over. I think the unique thing about that is to get all the wrestling fans, because he was in WWE and now he's in AEW. So he's got all the different fans around all of wrestling now that know who he is. So if we can get his name out there, I think that we'll have a good amount of them follow him over here.
No, absolutely. And as you know, he is a fighter. He's not a wrestler that wants to fight. This is a guy that has fought mixed martial arts. He's a pro's pro.
100%.
And with the internet all buzz, Dave, Vince McMahon coming to the table, trying to strike a deal with you and Conor, your partner. And I heard you turned it down. Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
I'm sorry. I actually talked about it just because I didn't remember that I was under NDA, and they called me right after the press went out and reminded me I was under an NDA. So there's not much I could talk about except say he was a really great guy. Vince was great, complimentary. Everything was good about the whole team, and it just wasn't the right time.
The one thing you can talk about is the future. We have about 2.5 minutes. What's coming up? What can we look forward to?
I mean, we got so many big things coming up. All the different countries we're opening up, working on the docuseries, working on some more TV things that we're working on, some bigger signings, opening up some new states, doing some big shows. I go to Jersey tomorrow to present to the board in Jersey, and I think everything's going to go well, and we'll get approved there. And we're targeting a huge show there in October that could be, just fantastic. And we got so many things coming up. I got the new series that I'm going to launch. Just a lot of things that are really, I feel, are going to take us to another step up, up towards that number one position.
What is that one state that you're still having trouble with? And can Texas, now that you've been there, can they make a call? Can they now help get over whatever hump is holding it back?
I don't think so. I think it's Nevada, and it has nothing to do with really regulatory at all. It's just, it's a connections thing there, I believe. And I don't think that's I think when the time comes, the time's going to come. I don't think anyone's really going to, I think one person can make that happen. And I don't think he wants to make that happen right now.
So the fight in Texas was over the weekend. Today's Wednesday. You're already back to work. You took that 2 hours off on Monday, and now it's moving ahead?
Yeah, I actually took a couple hours off on Monday. I really did. And we did our morning meeting. And Tuesday, today's Wednesday. We head over on Friday. I head over to the UK for a show on Saturday in Birmingham. And then we have a week off, and then we come right back to the Hard Rock. And we're just trying to really plan something big here. And we're working really, really hard. And I think things are starting to really click better than I thought they were going to. And I'm just excited to make these announcements, because I hate saying, oh, big news coming in. Hey, we're talking to this guy. But these things are coming to fruition. And when we can make the announcements, I think it's going to shake a lot of people up. And I think they're going to be like, wow, these guys are for real.
Awesome. Great stuff. I've been with you since the beginning. I love it. I love having you on. Congrats on another awesome event over the weekend, and we'll talk real soon.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Take care.
See you,
Dave
buddy.
Feldman, BKFC president, and more importantly, Rodney, your boss.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the greatest guys that I ever met.
And he's a Philadelphian.
Which is
Let's just start there.
surprising.
Let's just start. He's a Philadelphian,
Yeah,
and there's
but-
nothing better.
But you're not a Philadelphian.
You don't even like the Eagles.
I hate the Eagles.
You were hatched.
That's
I'm
not,
rooting for you.
Rodney, do you understand that? There's someone from Philly doesn't like the Eagles.
Well, he's hatched there. He
I
goes-
mean, I
no.
appreciate that.
Outcast
but-
said, "It's not where you're from; it's where you pay rent."
When I
And
get my
Randy has
jersey,
never
I'll
paid
become
rent
a semi
in
Eagle fan.
Philadelphia.
All right, we are out of time. Rodney, thank you for shooting down here. Let's talk. Let's have you on more often. Be part of this team. We can get rid of Matt a whole lot easier.
Absolutely.
This
Thank you for
is
having
and
me.
has been Knockout Radio. We'll see everybody next week.